Welcome back to the Lifespring Gauge, episode 59, Chee'ken and WBS. Chee'ken's true name has been revealed, and then the Starlight Syndicate spend some much needed time digesting this information that they've received before finally going dress shopping. Follow us on the socials. Okay, so we pick up as Chee'ken has said, hey, guess what? My name is Mr. Lion McGuireface. And Laffy was like, are you here on a job? And he's like, no, bro. And she was like, who sent you? Who invited you? And he was like, you did.
Big bombshell.
Big bombshell.
When?
The wings flutter as he lands on the table, like on the edge of the cup that you've now finished. Well, the end
a moth! I smack him. No, I'm kidding.
That was loud. That was so loud, actually.
It was.
Was it?
It was. Yeah, it was
Me,
quite loud.
what?
Don't worry. Yeah,
Oh,
you did it. You pulled a Peru there.
Sorry.
I've never
he
been so
says-
insulted in my life.
He says, it was many years ago, over 200 years ago, we came to an agreement. Do you not recall?
No, I don't remember anything.
Well, he flutters and he kind of flies like up again. He goes, well, you said for me to get an understanding of the world that I would have to see it for myself. And I said I was concerned that the last time I came here, people fought back, and you said I needed to be invited and to treat the place, to observe and to not interfere. And so, you said when you came back, I could join and come with you.
So, who were you before?
He flutters down. Goes, my name I may best be known as. Has a lot of history with it. Can I whisper it to you? Will you promise to keep it a secret?
Even from my friends?
Now, if that is okay.
You say for now, you cut out.
For now, if that is okay.
I think she'd look at everyone and, like, hesitate for a moment and then nod.
Okay. He's going to flutter up next to your ear and whisper the name that I've just sent you. Via
I hate you, James. I need to feel vindicated. And it's a name that she doesn't know.
It's a fucking name I know, trust me.
It's just fucking Steve.
Is that Laffy's natural reaction? Her eyes just go wide.
Yeah.
Gasp.
That's not good news.
So
Are you
that's
okay?
what happened. Okay.
I'm gonna kill something.
Everyone.
I don't know whether
he
it's.
floats down, seeing the.
Shush. I don't know whether it's you. I don't know whether it's Chee'ken the person. Me myself.
He's going to float down and he goes, I know this is a lot to process. I will leave you to your friends and trust that you will choose the right time to tell them. I will be around if you need me. And he's going to like float up and like fade out, but like leave like a moat. So he's still there, but he is physically no longer there.
Is everything alright, Laffy?
I don't think everything is okay. Do you see her eyes? They're like triple the size.
It's like she's
Yeah.
mushrooms.
Are you sure you had the right cupcake there, Laffy?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're not gonna tell us, are you?
I can't. Yeah.
Like, can't or don't want to?
Well, how would you feel if I said that I'd keep your word, something that one of you told me, and then I didn't keep it?
It
But
would feel-
we do know that. It's fine. I'm not going to get into it.
Anything
on.
we need to be worried about? Are we in? Is it dangerous?
No, if it was dangerous, I'd tell you straight away.
Okay.
It's from a very, very long time ago.
Just seen that message.
Like the book
It's
time
just
ago?
a message where you're a bitch.
No, specifically it was you a bitch.
Yeah, sorry.
What did you say, bro?
Like the book time ago?
How long ago?
It. In the. If you don't mind, I can answer that question for you. So without giving too much away,
Yeah.
it's from around the same time, and you can tell people who it isn't if you want. You can say it is.
Well, it's not
it isn't.
Steve. It's not Jeremy.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's not. It's not the person that we think is gonna fucking eat the sun, for example. It isn't
Yeah.
anyone that. Yeah, but it's from around that time.
I don't think it's anybody that any of you would know.
Oh, thank God for small miracles.
Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's move on. I spoke to Rhea. It is Rhea, isn't it? It's not Rhea. I keep saying
You
Rhea.
would know.
It depends where you're
I
from.
spoke to Rhea about Runo, and I don't need advice with it because I think I've made my mind up on it, but input would be nice. It seems as though Rhea felt the same way about Runo, and she told me that she misses him and thinks about him often. And I said, would I be able to pass that information on to him, because I think it would bring him a lot of peace. And she said that if I think it's a good idea, then I could tell him. Do you guys think that would be a good idea? Because if that was me, I think I'd want to know.
I
I
agree.
think it's a good idea.
She would like very much look to Laffy in that same sort of sense as like a similar, not like scenario, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think if that were to be the case for us, I'd want to know.
Okay, good, because I think I'm gonna talk to him. I also spoke to Rhea about the orb, and if she thought it was a good idea to dispel it, and she said that Runo gave up everything to make it, and if he thinks that it's time to get rid of it, then he must really mean it, because, well, and she'll like look to Lorelei and be like, it's like if you, she does that like thing with her finger.
As she does that, Lorelei actually does not look, she just closes her eyes as she does it.
Mm-hmm. But you get, it's like, it took him a lot to put it there, and so if he's talking about taking it away, he's probably thought very long and hard about it.
I really don't think necromancy should come back.
Well, if I would say if necromancy had been as it was before, then I don't think the mark would have happened, and you would still. I actually don't know how much the characters know. And I
Well,
don't
you know, food doesn't taste like anything.
And
you
also,
know.
Olivia hinted to it, and the Black One. Yeah, so I think she
Yeah.
doesn't know specifically, and I think there wouldn't be any repercussions towards reviving people.
There is also the fact that we know Hadar is on his way.
And didn't
we
the
only ever-
journal say that necromancy could be a possible?
The Lich is
issue?
no longer a threat, but necromancy is a concern.
Yeah,
That's not true. Like with William, that's one book.
He's
And
a bad man,
isn't-
though.
It's very possible that there are like thousands, maybe even more of them, just waiting for someone to use them. Can we really
yes,
risk
but
another?
I also feel like if there was that many books, then even though there is a slight or like a stopper on necromancy, I think they would still find a way to do it without necromancy.
Do you want
there
to
is
make it
also
easier
the-
for them?
Well,
No,
there
it
is
makes
the
it easier for them,
idea-
but I think it's opening up. It's wrong in the fabrics of the world to block out a point of magic.
You
I
have
I would
to.
also like to say that with a block on magic like that, it makes it even more taboo than what it already is, and those people come out of the woodwork because they think they can harness a magic that is straight up just like not right.
It makes
If-
people want
if-
to do it more if,
Yeah.
if they have that power.
You have to understand that necromancy is as much a part of the world as any other type of magic.
Not
And-
all necromancy is
Bad.
bad.
Yeah, and you also have to remember that the Lich War was a huge war, and that was put in place as a last resort. It was a huge decision that they had to make, and I mean, I don't want to say that they're not a threat anymore, but it's definitely not as bad as it was then.
Mm.
And so it's just restoring balance.
Yeah, and there is it's not like removing this block on necromancy will return the liches. They, at least I don't think so. Anyway,
Can you make an
there
Arcana
was-
check?
Yeah.
And would Lorelai know that once the necromancy was like gone, it was then became like a hunting game, trying to hunt down the lost sort of thing?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can make a history check with advantage. Sure.
Thinking
15.
back
Can I
to-
use my first roll advantage?
Yeah. Sure. Oh, that's
Fuck you,
Ah,
game.
that's annoying.
That's
Three
so annoying.
15s in a row.
15s, that's really weird.
Jesus. So I will say this, Aeon, right? So the
Yep.
Liches, what happened was, just to remind everyone, 'cause it was a long time ago when we spoke about this. The Lifespring Alliance, the Tears of the Moon group, had empowered this orb and then cast a variety of spells on it. They cast Hallow, Gentle Repose, and there was one other I can't remember at the moment. It's something that is along the lines of those two spells to basically prevent more undead being created and block off. So all the people who are currently dead couldn't be resurrected as zombies. And so Hallow and Gentle Repose are the two that stood out to me at the time. Would basically stop people from the already dead coming back to life and would prevent the undead from getting into certain areas. I think they also cast like turn undead or just annihilate undead
I'm
or
trying
stuff
to
like
see
that.
if I can find
I think it was those things.
yeah, Hallow, Gentle Repose, and the equivalent like the Destroy Undead, like
Yeah.
cleric feature.
Yeah. So what it did was get rid of a massive amount of current army, prevent any new numbers being added to it, and blocked the undead from entering certain areas. What that meant was that they could focus in on destroying the liches. So once that was done, the liches were not easy prey, but the numbers game was no longer an advantage, and the tide of the war changed like pretty much overnight. And so they were able to destroy the phylacteries. So the liches were gone, Like nearly all of them. In fact, I will say the records show that all of the liches at the phylacteries were destroyed, as much as anyone can know, and they've never been heard of since. There are areas where people can't go because the Hallow spell didn't reach. There's a whole, like literally the whole western side of the map is called the Blighted Lands that are full of undead, but people assume there's no liches there because it's just disorganized chaos. However, other creatures that could come back to life, or come back to undeath or whatever, could regenerate, might be able to come back. The liches had their ability to come back removed. There are certain creatures who that limitation would no longer be an issue. Like their body being destroyed would not matter. They could eventually come back. It's just the Hallow spell prevented them. With a 15, I will say things like vampires.
Yeah, so the stronger sort of level.
The stronger undead.
There's one other question that I had. I don't know if this is not linked, then tell me. Obviously, the orb was cast, and that did like a dome over, the whole area to be like, oh, no undead, fucker. Or, no necromancy, fuck off, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
If that dome was destroyed, or ended, so that effect wasn't it wasn't in effect anymore. You've also mentioned that the bigger towns, like Cadonshire, Haven, or Rastonchester, they all have Hallow stuff on them.
Mm-hmm.
But is that the same effect, or is it
no? That's
specifically
different.
done so that would stay up?
Yeah. So if you this is going back ages, right, to the Leaping Vale. One of the things I mentioned were that some of the wells were like points of the Hallow spell. So people would
yes. Oh, yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah. So basically, why the north is so important, why the places like the Nets and Sosoan are so rich, is that they capture these magic items and then ship them down for the magic items to basically be broken down into components to cast Hallow. So they'll find like a +3 dagger in the water, and rather than pocket it, that dagger will be sent to somewhere to basically be plugged into the mains, and that
acts as like an arcane engine.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's
sucking all the magic juice from it.
Yeah, and specifically for Peru and for Aeon, in Peru's very, very first pre-game session, in the one-on-one, I was just really stretching my memory to the actual wording. He was Lou was on a boat coming down from the Nets, and on that boat were loads of like artifacts, and they were accounted for. It's very, very important that the stuff coming in matches the stuff going out, because like there are some places, especially to like the further away you get from civilization, the more dangerous it gets. The further you get from like the spot that Hallow was cast, like way over here in Sosoan, and like here, especially here near the Looping Vale and the Blighted Hollow, it's fucking dangerous. Like the undead just literally pop out of the ground. So for those places not to have those Hallow spells is like hyper dangerous. It'd be the equivalent of like entire towns having their power and water shut off. Like people would certainly die.
I get it.
Yeah. But like I'm trying to think of like a more extreme example than that, because like food, you can do without food. Like they can technically do without it, but there'll be nothing to stop. They would be down to people with like trowels and stuff, like farmers fighting off the undead, and it would not go well. And so that's why, even if the overall spell, the gentle repose that is stopping people immediately coming back as undead, was to disappear, the localized Hallow spells would not. It would technically be more dangerous for Haven Orel, because that doesn't. They have protective walls, but nothing within the city. But reading between the lines of what Runo said, and the vision that Lorelei and Azalea had of the Silent Oarsman, the threat would be lessened, because technically there would be less undead being recycled through, because people like souls are being trapped and they're being forced back through as undead, like in this kind of never-ending cycle of their souls are being ground down, so they're losing, all their uniqueness, and it's just like a factory line for it. With that stopping, eventually the threat of the undead would go back down to, let's call it, natural levels.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helped.
Yeah.
Look, you only need to look at the grasps to know what effect necromancy has.
I just think
And I
it's if Bruno gave up so much and thinks that it's time, then we should respect that. But I don't know.
do we even have the right to decide?
Well, Bruno told us, and we
He
don't
wanted
have,
our opinion.
we're not deciding now. I think that'll be at least after the ball. But
Yeah.
I think it's something we should think about, and I agree with Laffy. I think it's best to end it so everything goes back to a more natural way of being.
There's
Yeah.
always going to be
This
threats.
is a pragmatic response, but yes, things will go a bit wild early on, but things will level out. Things will go back to normal.
There are people who are able to fight them now. It's not going to be a
This is what
but
the
there
this is what
are
the
people-
hunt do.
There are people now who are prepared to fight them and are fighting them while they're suppressed. I don't know if they can handle just an all-out possible necromancy resurgence.
But you say possible,
just-
so we don't
but-
know
but
what's going
also-
to happen.
They would know it's happening. It wouldn't be snap fingers and everyone.
This is why Bruno wants to talk.
Yeah,
At
and
the
that's why I think he
event.
mentioned he was going to say it at the ball to people like Swan, who is very capable of fighting them and
I know.
can mobilize forces to fight.
Mm.
Let's
And
say,
I know
it's
you're
not
worried.
just something, yeah. Not just
But
something
it's-
where-
let's say we do this. Can it at least wait until the situation with William is dealt with? Because we
Yeah,
don't know
I
what
d-
he's
yeah.
preparing.
I don't.
I don't think it will be immediate.
it won't. I mean, unless Runo, like,
Well, unless we did it at the ball, I don't
unless
think
Runo's planning on doing it himself, like I don't think it's something that's going to be instant, and I don't think it should be instant, because I think people have a right
we need
to
to get
know
time
about
for
it,
people
or at
to-
least
yeah.
the people who can fight should know about it, like Swan or Paladins. People who are able to effectively fight undead should be able to prepare and plan for it. And it's not like they're going to be popping out the ground like daisies. I think it will be it'll be quicker, but I don't think it'll be instant. Obviously, I don't know. Though I think it's better because also the downsides, the detriments of it happening, like the thing that happened with the dragon that my sister had and the scars on our faces, that won't be an issue. And in the vision or dream that Azalea and I had, we saw the Silent Oarsman, and I think he was telling us to stop it because it's not right.
And
affecting
Lou,
what just does.
there's always going to be threats that we have to overcome, but that's why people like us come together and do what we do.
I'm just afraid.
I know.
We're all very afraid.
It's normal to feel scared about things you don't know. You just
I
have
don't
to.
even know what's happening to me. I mean, I've felt it earlier. I don't have a pulse.
You said you wanted me
The-
to check, feel like it once over. Do you want me to do that now?
We'll be waiting till we're home.
Yeah, it can wait. It can wait. So nothing's going to change.
Okay, well, you just let me know when.
Okay.
No, just
Uh,
nods and fall silent.
There
I will
is-
say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
There is something else I wanted to just discuss. Riptide said I should talk to the entire group. When you and Lorelei left Olivia's, me and Lou stayed behind for a little bit. I asked her a question to find my brother, or at least maybe give me a lead, so I have more than just Kilpatrick to go on. And I mean, it was a little while. Well, I say a little while. It was a while ago. A few months after the incident where he killed my parents. He met up with Malloy. He handed him the dagger, and Malloy let him into his land. And then the magic just sort of fizzles because he's good at blocking it, I guess.
Can I ask something?
Mm.
How long ago was that? How long ago did you stop? Did that all happen? You left.
Well, I believe it was 3 years ago. 1 second. I have it right.
That's about
now.
right.
Yeah.
So,
I just-
for context, your brother would have got there, say, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years ago, because he spent after the incident, Aeon spent 3 years himself doing research and figuring stuff out and doing his own thing and learning the ropes of like bounty hunting to sort of track down his brother. So yeah, so it would have been 3 years ago when the incident happened, so about 2.5 years ago.
Well, the situation might be slightly outdated, but gives you another clue to go on, if nothing else.
And we're
But,
going in that direction anyway after the next.
Yeah.
Or after, yeah. So
After William. But wasn't Swan? Didn't she bring up the fact that Malloy?
there was
gone
something about
silent?
him going silent. There's not much.
Apparently, there's also a bloody motorbike somewhere.
Thunder.
That was Dax.
That was the dog
Doing what?
growling.
Oh wow!
Oh.
I thought someone
He
was
does
moving
like
the
William
wheel
either.
on wood there. That sounded like thunder.
He hates
That was the
necromancy.
weirdest-
See,
that is
that's
the
No,
weirdest
my
that was
favorite.
that was Rusty's stomach grumbling because he heard about cupcakes.
I've never heard a growl like that.
Isn't he back at the
So-
home? How long has he been without food, Laffy? I thought you were feeding him.
He had a huge breakfast this morning. Did you not see how many pancakes he had?
Yeah, but did you know how many?
That's
He
why
made
he's not
like
there. He's just in a
pancake,
carb
like-
coma.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a pancake vault back at the boat. I thought that was. It's not what he eats like every day.
Yeah,
He's a growing boy. He needs his food.
yeah, he does.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
he's
what
going to
I
grow
was saying.
sideways.
We were talking about Swan and the Malloy.
Oh, thank you. She did mention it, I think twice before. It is something to look at, but I've not, not gotten that far north, nor had really the want to go. But if you think it's right, then we can stop off if it's relatively on the way. Do we know where that is?
Yeah. So in terms of the map, it's if you're heading like due north to get to the nets to deal with William, and then if
Yeah.
you're bearing west to kind of, like, it would not be super out of your way to loop round and stay kind of at the same what's the word, like latitudinal mark. But you stay at the same level of north, follow the river west, then come down south. It would basically add like maybe a week onto your journey, but you would not be heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, I am conniving to get you guys some transportation.
Okay.
I know that it's probably a weird time to mention this, but we did come out today to get outfits for the
Yeah, I was
Fancy
gonna
again.
say, but it felt a bit awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things kind of got away from us.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it
a
would
little
take
bit.
all of our minds off everything, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I was
would you guys be
actually. Yeah, well, I was gonna say if I could have a little, you know, I'm kind of catch as catch can, come as you off, you know, rough and ready, some other analogies. Basically, I kind of like what I wear, and I think I look okay in it, but I've never done a fancy outfit. That was always, you know, my brother or my sister. They were always the one in the fancy get-up. So I was wondering if you could, you know, give us a bit of help and see.
Yes.
You know,
James asking
Neil-
Yes.
for Beth to draw.
I've been asking that forever. I love it better and stuff. But like, what I want, I want to look nice. You know, I want to look because I think I look okay, but I don't think I look like
You look
fancy
great.
baller. Well, yeah, but I wouldn't
Okay,
want to wear
Riptide.
this to a bit baller. You know what I mean? I want to.
You know, like when girls big each other up and they're like, "Damn, baby, look at you!" Like Laffy would be fully like,
I know.
"Look
you
at
know,
you, girl."
you know, I know I look okay, but like this is not. You know, I couldn't turn up to a hoity-toity restaurant and order, you know, the foie gras in this. They'd be like, "Fuck off." And to be fair, you know, I've got all blood and shit down there. I want a nice dress, and I've never bought a dress. I probably need shoes and like
Montage.
Yeah, couple montage. Hey guys,
You cut out.
look, there's a should say as well. I will say that you are like you've moved around the city a little bit. You're not super far from where you are, but you are in a place now that is plot conveniently placed. If you want to go and see other things other than just there's like a you know, there's like a haberdashery and a shop, tailors and stuff like that. But you're near the dock. You're within like walking distance of the docks, which means you're within walking distance of people like Sissy and
yes.
stuff like that. So I will say, because we're not playing next week, I want to kind of get you to the ball when we play again in like the 21st. I want to start the ball then, ideally. But between now and then, like, you know, we're good to go for another little while. But if there's anyone you desperately want to speak to before you go to the ball, we can do kind of like a time blur, like, you know, you spend the afternoon shopping, which we can touch upon. But if there's anyone else you really want to speak to, I know Beth mentioned she wanted to speak to Sissy, but is there anyone else in the group who wants to speak to or do something?
The only other person I can think of, other than people who we will probably see at the ball or is not pressing, is Wibbiddle Skittle, but I feel like it's going to take ages.
Yeah,
That doesn't necessarily need to. Okay.
I want to talk to him for a few reasons, but they are again heavy reasons.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I don't know if we want to do that. Like, I don't mind waiting.
I will say, from now, you are in a position that you can go dress. We can spend a little bit of time sorting out what people want to wear. Because I know Beth had
Mine's
ideas.
so simple. I know
Yours
what
is
I'm
dead
doing,
simple.
so
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do.
quick.
There's a haberdashery, then there's the equidistant from the haberdashery or the tailors is Sissy and Wibbiddle Skittle, and then we will wrap up there because I think we can.
Standing there like,
It's weird. They never met each other. They're just talking randomly.
No. When I say equidistant, I mean they're the same
I know,
distance
I'm
apart. Yeah,
joking.
Yeah.
it's like it's the opposite ends of the street, like a druid and
Yeah.
an artificer who's like always
That's
arguing.
convenient.
yeah.
Like,
It's
stop
like,
banging your bellend.
Yeah,
It's
They're just
like
shouting at each other
two
like old men from
NPCs
across the.
just completely T-posing until someone interacts with them.
You
Yeah,
kids get
well,
off my property.
yeah.
It's like,
But you leave in. I don't know what the vibe is. If someone could give me a
neither
vibe
do
check.
I.
I don't anticipate the vibe being awful. I think it's better than it was when you left Olivia's.
Yeah.
I would like
yeah.
to get a vibe check from an individual vibe check from everyone. Like how is I think how's Laffy like taken the news that only she's heard? Like what's that done for her thoughts? Because like you like Chee'ken is now as far away as he's ever been. Like he's very.
Is he far enough in range of the crossbush?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, if you want to attack him, you can. But like,
I'm joking. I want to. Me, the player, because I don't trust him. I've never trusted him. But
No, that's fine. But like I need to understand how Laffy has taken that news, like what it's meant to her as a character.
I don't know how much I can say without giving stuff away.
It's pure emotion then.
Because of the conversation that she had with Rhea, it's sort of a relief feeling almost.
Okay, interesting.
Surprise. Relief because you stop. Relief because she now knows what happened. Ish. Probably a bit of confusion as well, because she doesn't remember it.
What is her, like, for the casual observer, is she, like, would her emotional output reassure, and I'm speaking specifically for Lorelei, who probably has, like, the best read on her, but would Laffy's emotions put Lorelei at ease or put her on edge?
At ease, I think.
Okay, cool.
When she left Olivia's, she was, like, very... I mean, I think I said, like, right as she left, that her self-confidence had, like, plummeted. And I think after the conversation, she's now realising that the only opinion that matters is, like, hers. Like, on herself.
Yeah.
And so she's, you know, she's back to her, like... She's not necessarily, like, bouncing off the ceiling, because that still happened, and that's still a thing that's going to happen. But she's definitely calmer and, like, more head held high kind of thing.
Cool. Right then. Does anyone else have anything poignant or, like, you know, seeing Laffy in a more self-confident and relatively happier mood, even having, you know, a shocking moment with Chee'ken that hasn't quite yet been shared? Is there anyone in the group who is, you know, particularly on edge or has very strong feelings at this time? Anyone having big feels?
Aeon's in a weird place after describing to someone, and I think Lou and Riptide would have been in the room when he was describing what happened. So he's in a bit of a weird place, and then he's also in a bit of confusion. Why Malloy? Why was his brother given sanctuary? Why did he hand over a bloody knife and get accepted? Like, there's some unanswered questions there that he's just continuously running through and trying to find answers for, but he can't seem to get anything yet.
Okay. As a point of comfort, like, I don't think you've not really engaged with Riptide a whole lot. I know you've been around her, but she's not, like, I think she's like made some vague allusions and just, like, said a couple of things to you. But she is a very emotionally aware person. She's not a stupid barbarian by any means. Because I just typed in her stats. I didn't even roll them. I just typed in the stats I wanted. And so she, because fuck it, she's my MC.
Are you cheap?
Right, yeah.
Character creation, unbelievable.
Yeah, I do what I want. She's amazing. I love her.
That's the benefit of being a DM.
Yeah, just what I want. So she, you know, if she sees that you are, like, struggling with it, she will give you some very, not frank, but very, like, clear signs that she is she's also going through a journey that her anticipated end for it is revenge. She wants revenge on Kilpatrick. That is her, at the moment, not her sole aim, but the thing that is, when she thinks about the next steps, that one is kind of the end goal she wants to get to, and beyond that she hasn't really thought a lot, but she also knows that she doesn't want to be somebody who is consumed by revenge. She has been alone for a while and has been warmly welcomed into this group, more so than she has at any other time in her life, and is very keen to make sure that she stays around these people who have rapidly become her friends, and would say as much to reassure you that you are not in this alone, that these people her and your friends can be trusted, and will help you to do what it is you want. If it is find your brother, if it is hunt him down, whatever it is, if it's just follow the leads until you get there, she basically like offers her hand in help to you if you are feeling down in the dumps. I just didn't have to do that in an Australian accent.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's fair. Everyone just be the thank you, Riptide. It means a lot.
Yeah, and also, you know, if we find any more of these cool weapons, I want to see what Rusty can do with them, and then we can all have kick-ass weapons. That'll be dope. Fucking dope as shit. Yeah, and you're like an artificer. You being there. Oh look, here we are, the clothes shop. It's a Primark. It's not. It's a nice shop. I don't.
Primani.
Primani, yeah, Primani.
It's owned by a woman named Marnie.
Yeah, I have never bought. The only thing I used to buy from Primark was white t-shirts because you could get back 10 years ago.
I get socks from Primark. They're so cheap.
Yeah, sometimes you get Libby stuff from that, but I don't really like it. I think it's fast fashion.
I
Anyway,
hate shopping at Primark. It makes me feel so fat.
I was just about to say I have the same
Makes me feel
experience. I
huge.
genuinely I go to Next because I can buy double XL in Next and I'm comfortable in them. But then in Primark it's like
It's like
Yeah.
it's like wearing a fucking sausage casing.
yeah,
It's awful.
yeah. Anyway, so you step inside Primarche, and inside there is what races do I not use a lot? I'm looking for
a lizard folk.
Oh, a
Leonin?
lizard folk and a triton. The lizard folk is he's like you come in, his eyes turn, then his head turns in that weird kind of reptilian motion. His tongue goes out, and he goes, "Customers, I can see you are all beautiful and very fashionable. Please step this way into the boudoir." And
God!
He directs you to it, and he goes, for the gentleman, I perceive that you would like to wear something that accentuates the buttocks and the forearms, and the fashion at the moment are these awful tight trousers that don't quite reach the ankles and boater shoes. I've got to say, I think people who dress like that look like cunts. So we're not going to dress you like that. We're going to put you.
Can you do that again, please? Can you say?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We are going to put you into softer clothes, pinstripe suit, perhaps, or
Shuckering succotash.
something that will allow fine gentlemen like yourself mobility and some flexibility in the gonadal regions.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I was thinking
I shall just get a member of staff because I do not work here. I need to leave. And in his place, in his place, I can't remember what they're called. It's the water genies. Was it not the gin? Which ones are they?
They're marrieds.
Marrieds. I'm married with a little goatee and no mustache. Comes up to you and says, "Now, guys, I could say that guy's in here all the time. We try to get rid of him, but what is it you want, my man? What can I do for you today? What can I do for you this fine day? What do you want to be?"
Well, I'm thinking, and I do have a picture of something I would like to wear to this ball. I posted it a little while ago when we were talking about what we wanted to wear.
It was like a purple robe, wasn't it? Like a purple robe.
It was this. I'm gonna just post it in the game chat on Discord. The thingy.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Like
so
a black suit with...
Oh yeah, like black, almost velvety with a hat and a cane and like a lot of detail.
Yeah.
I say now, Mister, what I'm going to ask you to do is put your arms out to the side, just like this. Just reach out as far as you can. He goes. He touches one end of your sleeve, touches the other, and then these little motes have appeared, and he brings it round to the center, and he goes, "Alakazam," and pulls it down, and pulls it up, and you're in that suit. This guy I'm trying to do an impression of Robin Williams. I cannot do it. If it's not Mrs. Doubtfire, it isn't going to happen. It's the genie from that particular film by the Mouse Company. Um,
Run.
Yeah, he's in the public thing now. You're fine.
the genie
No,
is not in
Mickey
public domain.
Mouse
Mickey
is.
Yeah,
Mouse. is
Mickey
public domain.
Mouse.
Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse.
Robin Williams'
can-
portrayal of the genie is not.
No,
I
but you can
suppose
say
he's
it
a
from the
good-
Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
company,
From
not
it's
just
Disney's
the mouse.
Aladdin. I don't think they're listening.
As nobody
Um,
knows who Mickey Mouse is.
It's such a terrible impression, anyway.
I
And
only know Steve Willie. Thank you.
Yeah, and he goes, now, this is a fine outfit. How do you think this is, how do you think this is, I can actually probably do a little bit of rolling. How do you think this looks? This is a really good look for you, I think. Not very good.
Well, one thing about the genie. One thing about the genie is it does change. He does change voices a lot,
Voices
so
a
you
lot,
can get away
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I-
yeah, what do you think? Is this do good for you?
That's a really cool trick for a start.
It's just
yeah,
an
I
illusion. It's just an
really-
illusion. We create the outfit after you've left.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you walk out of here, we'll just be your normal clothes. But this gives us an idea of form, of sizing, of materials. as
Yeah,
well. It's like a tactile illusion.
Yeah, I really like it. Do you know anywhere I can purchase a cane? By
We
chance?
can throw a cane in for you. We have a,
Oh, you
A
can
a
throw a
wide
cane
and
in.
fine
Awesome.
selection, a wide and fine selection of canes. We have canes with knobbly bits at the end, canes with knobbly bits all the way down them, canes that do not have any knobbly bits in them at all. But I think that's missing out.
You know, like in Harry Potter with Lucius Malfoy, where his wand is the cane. Can you do that with your gun? Like, can you pull the cane and it's just your gun and
I
shoot
suppose.
someone with it?
We could build the casing of the gun.
I mean, I could
It would
if
look
the
like a
cane.
crutch.
Yeah, well, if the cane could, if I could get an arcane focus rod and turn that into a cane, I could potentially turn that into a secondary arcane firearm.
Can you just it's just a musket?
Hey, if you, I mean, all things are possible here. If you would like, if I can examine your arcane focus, I do not need to touch it. I just need to see it. Yeah, with those dimensions, I think this particular cane would suit. It is a cane that it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. It's kind of like a bag of holding. It's a TARDIS
Cane of
cane.
holding.
You can use it, and it would have the handle of the cane would be the handle of your arcane firearm. You could use this as an arcane focus, I suppose, if you wanted to. It maybe damage the cane if after lots of use, but for a particularly fine evening, this would do the job just fine.
That's yeah, that sounds actually really awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
He grabs you by the shoulders, gives you a big mwah, mwah on each cheek, and then turns you around, pushes you to the tills, and smacks you in the arse and sends you on the way. Who's up next?
Matthew's a
This
tad
goes on.
overwhelmed.
Can we go to another shop? I don't want.
This
to
is
be
the
caught.
only shop in town.
No. So
Can't
she's not gonna
do it.
go over and like stand in the magic-y bit, but
The Magic Game booth.
this is gonna
Magic-y
sound
bit.
insane. Is there a bridal section?
Yeah, I would say there is a bridal. And in the bridal section, there is what looks to be a woman approaching retirement age, with like coiffed hair that's like coloured, but the colour is probably not the colour she wanted it to go. It's gone like a corally pinky peach.
Mm-hmm. That Riptide
This
likes
is-
that.
Well, this woman's not Riptide type. This woman is.
No,
say
I mean the
approach-
hair colour, because her hair's
Um,
pink too.
It's not. So this is a bit of a washed out pink. It's not. It's
Okay.
not. Imagine that particularly like nice shade of like coral, but like washed out, and it just doesn't look very good. It looks plasticky rather than anything else. And she comes and goes, "Yes, my dear. What do you want? How can I help, brother? You planning
Is there
for the
like
big
a-
day?
Princess gown on display.
Well,
Do you know what a princess? This is me asking you rather than the lady, because she'll just point at it and go, "Can I have that one?"
Is it like maroon? Like I'm gonna say meringue, like a bell, like thick,
Like-
a
yeah,
dulcet
like-
and then
like-
a bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, well, we have a variety of outfits. We have them in a variety of materials. This material here, this silk, is my favorite because when I'm at home at night with my pussy, we sit there and she falls asleep on my lap on my silk.
Excuse me.
I knew that was the bit you were going for as
Yeah,
soon as you
thanks,
said it, but
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I just need a fabric that will work well with
With
paint.
paint, paint.
I would like. I'd like to paint a dress.
this isn't an arts and crafts store, my dear. We're a serious haberdashery.
I'm aware. I just need a base.
What? Well, would you like a silk? Would you like a cotton? Would you like some third material?
I'm trying to think what would work
Silk
best
would
with
probably
paint.
work.
You need
Probably-
something slightly textured.
Yeah, slightly.
Still takes
That might
colour
also
very
depend
well, and you
on
can
what
define the
type
edges
of
as
paint
well.
you're using.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like a silk blend.
A silk blend. Well, yes. And she turns to a particularly. She turns to the exact dress you want.
Yeah, cool.
Well, that's
And she'd like a very puffy. What's it called? Hang on.
Gown.
armbands.
Like those Victorian style dresses.
No, it's got a petticoat.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She wants a very
Well-
puffy petticoat to go underneath it.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got that. We've got the toolie if you want it. There are accents all over the shop. We've got the toolie if you want it too.
Somehow this is
Um,
close to Robert Williams.
Yeah, yeah. And so if you just take that to the till and you say that Edna helped you out, and then it'll
Knock
go
it.
on my sales record.
She's
and
gonna
then
do one more thing before she does. She's gonna take out. I imagine that she's got one of these on her at all times. It's like a mint tin. You know the tiny little tins that you put mints in.
Yes.
I
have
imagine
one
she
actually.
has one of those, but she uses it like a paint palette, and she's
Okay.
gonna take it out, hold it up next to Riptide, and like look at it, and then look at the palette, and like look at Riptide, and back at the palette, and be like, okay.
Yeah, so Riptide says, yeah, I don't really know what it is I'm after. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I'm going to say this without Lorelei getting angry, but I'm going to put my body in your hands, and and I'm going to leave it. I'm going
In Riptide's head, she says, "I can always hear you."
She's looking at, oh shit. No.
Celia's
but,
going to be so jealous.
what I wanted to say, Leffy, is I'll trust you implicitly, but what I want is to dress to impress, which I've never tried before, and I'm sure that between us we can do it. But there are a couple of colours. Callous? Yeah, callous. Sorry, I
This is
forgot
me-
to say
this is
vowels.
This is me yesterday.
Yeah,
With
I forgot
vowels.
to say vowels. So there's a couple of colours that are particularly like a match or at least complement, if that's okay. And she's going to show you she's going to point to a colour on your palette box that is kind of an orangey Albany red.
Cool.
And then like make meaningful eyes
I
at
will
you.
try to make that work with blue and
Oh
pink.
god,
Jesus
blue
Christ.
and
It
pink and
helps.
orange is so difficult.
If it helps, I'm happy to dye my hair.
Ooh.
Amazing.
I'm happy.
Blue and
I'm
orange is a
happy.
very difficult combo, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I know, I was hoping it could pop. You know, like I don't need to match it, but I just wanted to. If I stood hypothetically, if I was say dancing with somebody who had that particular shade of color, I would want us to look good. You know what I mean?
I think I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. Say no more. Lou. Actually, yeah, Lou. What was it? Yeah, we'll come to Lorelei. I've seen two options for Lorelei, and I love both of
Yeah.
them. So I will allow you to mull over.
Oh, I have been for the last month.
Okay. Lou, what is it your like this person comes to you and goes, well, my dear, I'm sure there's something here that we can get to. You have a beautiful young woman like yourself. I'm sure you have something here that could catch the eye of any potential suitor. This fucking person's got rotorism as well. Would you catch the eye of any particular suitor?
I have never paid more than 10 copper, for a piece of clothing.
Oh, well, it's the first time for everything. I don't think we have anything in this room worth 10 copper.
You have a
less
pen.
than-
I regret every decision in my life that has led
Well,
to this moment.
I can see, and probably good. And this is the first good decision you will have made. So come with me. We have here a long gown that would.
No, I want pants. I'm not doing dress. I want pants.
pants. You want a pants suit?
That's just gonna be good.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I was just taking a. Would you like it to accentuate a particular part, or draw the eye rather, to a particular part of the body? I see you've unfortunately got. Please don't take this the wrong way. Rather. Eye-catching mark on the face, but perhaps you'd like the eye to be drawn elsewhere, perhaps to the leg, the thigh. the boobies.
Look, just I posted 2 images, and I actually can't decide between them.
So what did you post them in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh,
In,
they're quite
gay
cool
chat.
actually. I like the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
option
second
feels
one was the
way
one
too
I started
sultry.
drawing Lewin, but I didn't finish the picture.
Okay,
Well,
well
if
we
it's
have.
the hair and the eyes, it just looks like Lorelei to me. So I don't know how I feel about that. But
If you cover the face, it's just the other one is and don't get me wrong when I say this, it's a hyper masculine look, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
hyper
yeah, I
masculine.
could see that.
And it's not a bad look by any means, but it's I think for the it's completely up to you actually. So she shows you a variety of options that are like jacket and like I don't want to say jeans and a nice top, but that kind of like formal vibes. And she shows you a couple and she goes and with regards to colour, was there a particular colour that you wish to go for, or are we matching the hair? Are we matching the eyes? Are we matching the skin tone? A particular shade of makeup you like?
I don't use makeup. I would prefer darker colors, like to match the hair.
Okay. Well, she shows you a couple of options, and I will allow you to mull over what it is you want to do. And last, was not least, she turns to Lorelei, and she says, "Good afternoon. This is afternoon. We've sorted out your friends. They are all going to look, I'm sure, simply fabulous. Is there any particular anything you wish to, a statement perhaps you wish to make?" It's often the best question to ask when people are in the market for a particular look. Is what is it you want people to think when they see you?
well, here's the issue. I have 2 designs in mind, but they're very different. Well, they both work, but they're both very. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, the event itself, would it be possible for you to enact a costume change? Say, for example, you arrive in a. This is spitballing. Say, for example, your friend, the blonde one. I didn't catch anyone's name. That's rather rude of me. We'll call her Shorty. When Shorty arrives,
Laughing.
Laffy. When Laffy arrives, she's in the bridal gown. Obviously, there will be a red carpet moment. So entering with a long trailing, like a long trailing, train. Fuck it, I don't know. And then perhaps if there is dinner and dancing, you may wish to move to something slightly more comfortable. There could be a moment of transformation. Those kind of moments do stick somewhat in the memory. If that is something if you're looking to draw the eye, perhaps.
That might work. The only issue is the 2 images I have in my head, aka in front of me, are very different. And well, one of them is sort of a more form-fitting, sort of tapered black leather sort of dress.
A leather
with-
dress. Imagine wearing a leather
not
dress to a ball.
leather, but that's like the texture of it, and I can't think of another way to describe it.
Classic.
With sort of relatively simple, darker colours. I'll just saved for like Beth.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Yeah,
I like both of them actually, but they are very different. Yeah.
that's my issue, and I like the sort of idea of it and the style of it. I just don't think it works for me, and I feel like I'd be very uncomfortable with that much skin showing.
Well, comfort is key. You said you had another option.
Yes, well, my other idea is sort of more similar and just points to Lou. Similar to hers. Sort of dark colours, like a one. I actually don't know how to describe it.
It's like a bodysuit, isn't it?
It's almost like it's almost like the best way to describe it is almost like dungarees, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where
I've seen it. I know what you mean.
I will send it in a second.
Yeah.
It's one bit of fabric with a sort of a darker, like a sort of slightly see-through darker material for most of the arms and like the chest, with some like purple accents and some other things, but I can work on that myself. I just don't know which ones That's when I would send the other one, just
Well,
to get it's like get the opinions of everyone else.
there is the option, as I say, to wear two outfits. We can provide both outfits in a ring, and you can switch between the two if it's a decision of comfort and, say, not showing skin. There could be perhaps a mesh fabric put over on the first dress to give you the modesty. A shawl, yes, thank you, a shawl.
This is the other one. I took me way too long to find it.
There are two very different looks. I will say the first one is more formal than the second, but if the second is more comfortable, then obviously you're the one who's going to be wearing it all night. So you just have to decide now, but think it over, and say if you wish to juggle between the two, you can, and there's an option there. The reason I'm bringing that to a slightly truncated end is I want to get to Wibbittle Skittle. So
Yes.
mull it over. I love.
How much do you think that would be?
For any outfit, I'm going to say it's going to be 10 gold.
Okay.
Each, yeah. That is a lot of money. That's like paying like 600 quid for an outfit. It's a lot of money. It's nice material. It would class as like fine clothing. Would be suitable for any hoity-toity event, as long as you don't fucking slop gravy down it like I would.
So as long as I don't get stabbed in the chest again, this should be good.
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
feel like you'd have more problems if that was to happen.
Yeah, your problems would not be the same.
Hey, I don't need my heart anymore. It's good.
Well, you still never mind.
As
That's how that works.
you pay up, and included in that 10 gold is any material you may think you need, including shoes, bags, blah, 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 all that shit. But we will go into greater detail. I imagine you will go into like separate areas, so there could be like a reveal at the do, if you wish there to be. I've seen some of the pictures that Beth's done. They're great. I am going to attempt another one. I did one of Riptide that I liked but wasn't super happy with in terms of like a posh event. She kind of looked like a sexy librarian, which I was happy with, but it wasn't the vibe I was going for. I wanted something like reserved. I wanted something very modest. Like hyper modest, is basically it was like up to her neck and it covered her entire arms, and like it's nice. It was a good picture. I was really happy with the picture, but it wasn't what I wanted it to work.
I will say, I mean, as mentioned before, orange and blue are maybe one of the most difficult two colors to combo well.
I've figured out a way to do it.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
again,
glad.
it's a color to complement the. It doesn't have to be orange. It's a color to complement the orange. Do you see what I mean? So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So maybe
Orange is a
gold.
difficult color to work with, but yeah.
I can pull off orange. I've got a weird skin.
I love orange. Orange is
Yeah,
more
but
my
you haven't
favourite
got
colour.
blue skin.
No, I've got warm undertones though.
Yeah.
I would
Anyway,
be very worried if James had blue skin.
That's true.
yeah, I have like vaguely yellow skin because born a bit jaundiced, but other than that, I'm fine. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Okay, so you leave the shop having either put your order in for the event, which is I'm going to say 2 nights away. So you have like 1 full day's rest, and then the next night will be the event. So there is a amount of time for you to do stuff, but not an infinite amount of time for you to do stuff. And you are heading to a direction. Now in front of you lie 2 pathways. We can go down both pathways. One is to Wibbittle Skittle, and one of them is to Sissy. Which would you like to go to, or which would you like to go to first?
Well, we're doing both today, I assume. So
You
I
can
don't
do,
think that will
but it's
really
just how
matters.
long you guys want to run for, because it's 11 minutes. Doing that for you.
Oh,
so.
I don't mind going late today if we're not playing next week.
I would say if we're going to do one first, Wibbittle Skittle, because Sissy is more of a laughy focused thing.
Mhm.
Obviously, we will probably chip in a conversation, but
Yeah,
I think
it's-
while we're
there's
all,
not as
while we're
much
all
for-
more more awake and have
The
our
stuff
thinking
like,
about it.
for Sissy is she has one optional, like she has something she wants you to do, and then just like chatting away. But
Yeah.
you head towards the address you have for Wibbittle Skittle. Now there isn't a map for this. You head down towards the artificy part of the town, very similar to where Olivia was from. There is a smell of like there's a smell of magic in the air, but this is artificy. It's for Aeon, probably like home away from home. There's the smell of like sulfur and like the ozone in the air, you know, where people are like letting off lightning bolts and stuff, and the smell of burning. There's a lot of people walking around with like no eyebrows and like burn marks around where goggles would have been. Like a lot of people walking around looking vaguely shell shocked. There's a smell of glass and acids.
The burning eyebrow stage. That's the early stage.
There is.
Are people preparing food here? It smells the same as a restaurant.
There's a lot of like what looks to be armors being made, and people like trying to build like automatons. So people have, you know, people like putting armor on like robo skeletons. There's what looks to be like half a warforge that's midway through being created, and you follow the directions I think that Leia gave you. I can't remember exactly who it was, but you got the directions of the address of somebody, and you come to a very nondescript door that has quite a low door, which has got like a barred letterbox, if that makes sense. So like a letterbox sized gap in the door that's got like bars running down in front of it.
That's a good sign.
Here we go.
So how do we want to, tackle
Is
this?
this what everyone looks like in the area, James? In general.
It's the yeah. What's the guy from Avatar in the guy whose son is in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
The Mechanist.
Mechanist, yeah.
So do we just knock on his door, or?
I can open this door right now if you want to.
Well, we don't want to
Maybe
break
not
in.
break in. Knock.
You knock on the door and
I
you
can't believe
hear.
you said knocked as you knocked.
Knock.
Yeah, Aeon says knocks.
Knock. From around the letterbox size, you hear the sliding of not gears but like ball bearings in a in like a frame. You hear it slide back, and you see like a nose point out, a very pale nose poking out between the bars, and the nose like edges up, which is, oh, for fuck's sake, and slams it shut, and you hear like what sounds like wheels being dragged behind the door, and then boom, it hits the door, and then little feet running up the thing, and then another like barred eye hole opens at the top, and you see his very pointy nose, this sticking out hair, and this very annoyed eyes looking out from behind you, and goes, "Yes, what is it, Longshanks?"
We're Middle Skittle.
Yes.
We had some questions.
You the police?
No.
Are you members of any law enforcement agency in any regard?
Not anymore.
Are you here collecting money for anybody I may owe money to?
No.
Don't think so. No.
Only if it's a lot of money.
No, Leo.
No.
What
no
do
money.
these questions entail? What do they regard? My finances, my love life, my history?
I'm actually very interested in his life. I'm interested in his love life.
I'm gonna hold the tablet up and like wave it behind Aeon's head.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We do have his tablet.
Oh, you're one of the many. Sorry, I can't. You all blend in.
We're friends with the Silverhook. Do you know them?
Oh, the Timothy.
We're less friends with him.
Cal and the other, the quiet one.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh well, okay. Bear with me.
Timothy's part of the package, but we'd like him less.
20 locks.
Fucking, he is a package. You hear the rolling of the stairs as he pulls back, and you hear about 7 locks being undone, and then like a muttering, and he pulls the door open.
Only 7. What a noob.
There was a muttering. There's an arcane lock as well on that as well.
Yeah, and he opens the door in front. The door like swings in. He goes, "Oh well, come in. You all know me. We're Whittle Skittle. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Please shut the door behind you. Make sure you apply all the locks."
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. You turn round. There is an incomprehensible amount of locks.
We only had 7.
You look at it and you're like, oh, fuck me, where do I even start? There's like one, basically at one for every couple of inches of the door. There's like 6 running along the top and dozens running, and each one's a different type of locking mechanism.
God damn it.
And there's a bolt
Why
at the
do I
bottom
do
as well.
this
Have
thing
fun,
to
Lou.
myself? I hate this.
This guy's
I-
watching you as you do it. Like he's watching you to see what you do.
Haven't broken into as many houses and looks as I have. Kind of just try to like wing it to like, oh, this looks right and stuff like that.
You can make a check if you want.
Yeah.
What check are you gonna make?
Intelligence, I assume.
Yeah, you can make an investigation or arcana.
I'll do investigation, and I'll use my advantage.
But you can use that after if you roll one.
Natural 20.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, nice. So you look at these huge. We're
I could
talking
flash,
like
I'm not going to, but I could flash a genius that up to a 33.
you look at these locks, and it looks to you at first like a like Christmas lights tangled amount of stuff going on. There's just wires and cables going everywhere, and you follow them as you
Why
don't
is there
get overwhelmed. You don't
USB
panic. You see in the middle of it there is this like very low down, it kind of below where your eyes naturally would go because this guy's so short. There is a very, very simple mechanism to reapply all of the locks, but once it's reapplied, the gears won't grab on it anymore, so it can't. They have to be done individually. So you put your hand down and you twist this like dial, all of the locks immediately slap shut, and then there's this like glowing arcane ring of runes that cover the door that would basically prevent anyone trying to use like the knock spell or anything like that to get in or teleport inside. And so you were able to do it very, very quickly. And he goes, smart girl. Yes, come in. Yes, as I say, I'm Webiddle Skiddle. Please sit down. I do not have any refreshments to offer you, so please do not ask. Who are you?
I wouldn't take any anyways.
Wow, good. Who are you?
We're the Starlight Syndicate.
Sticking with that name, are we?
I looked
Yes,
everyone else.
yes, we are.
Okay, well, no accounting for taste as he sits there in like, as you examine him, he's wearing like,
Says somebody
wearing,
called Werbiddle Skittle.
yeah, he's wearing a lab coat and like short
She'd say that out loud.
Yeah, and
I
a
don't
Hawaiian
care.
top. So this guy's a gnome, right? He's hyper eccentric.
Can we tell what, like, is he like deep gnome or is he whatever the other gnomes are?
So there's a forest and rock. I think he's a rock
Yeah.
gnome. So he's wearing like a long lab coat. For him, a long lab coat. What's the bad guy from Dax and what's it? Is it Professor Neutron or something? Oh, it's from one of the old PS2 games. I think it's from like Ratchet and Clank. That's it.
Oh, Ratchet.
Oh no, the bad guy from Crash Bandicoot. What's his name?
I've never played that game. I don't know what you're on.
Dr. Neocortex.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
Dr. Neocortex.
You guys are old.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah.
played it on the PlayStation
yeah.
1, mate. It was a
So he
fucking
looks-
classic game.
He's got a really
looks
big
dumb.
forehead. He's got a really domed head as well.
Yeah, really domed head. But he doesn't have the big N on it. He has a W.
It's just it's W.
Yeah. Yeah. So he kind of looks like that, except he's wearing like hot pant, like short shorts. Like
Oh god.
basically cowboy boots. So nothing to do
Booty
with the cowboy
shorts.
boots and the booty shorts, and like a string vest as well. And so you can see like he clearly wasn't expecting company. He's only wearing clothes because it's like otherwise he would spill stuff on himself. And he's looking around as he says, "No accounting for tastes." And then he goes, "Yeah, so Starlight Syndicate, you have questions for me? I have some questions for you also. How have you been finding the tablet? Do you find the interfaces accessible?"
He's going through a checklist on it.
Yeah, he pulls out a checklist. Do you find the font sizes adequate for those of you with diminished vision? Would it be beneficial if there was an opportunity for the messages to be read out? Do you find the storage adequate? Do you like the texture of the... And he just basically starts reeling off like 100 question feedback form. Like just rapid. Just like all about
Can you
usability.
send us this questionnaire on the tablet? And we can fill it out.
It
in
would
our
be
own
easier
time,
if
'cause
you
we're
did
kind
it
of
now.
Busy.
I think Laura chose the best to answer, like, you know, the important ones. Like, maybe there should be accessibility options, but we don't really have anyone with bad eyesight, so that doesn't really matter. Maybe being read out good for people who are hard of hearing.
Change the
When
font
you
size
when
to
you say
papyrus.
about being busy, he kind of like puts the clipboard down and goes, "Is that not what you're here to talk about?"
No.
Oh, what? How can I help? He puts the clipboard down
Maybe
and
we
he
should
like
have
crosses
said
his
that
lips.
before the 50th question.
Yes.
Well, it takes 30 seconds to stop taking a breath.
Yes. How, sorry. So, members of the Starlight Syndicate, I am Weirbiddle Skiddle. You're not here to talk about my fine invention of the talkie tablet. What is it I can do for you?
Are you
said
are you
had
sticking with
questions.
that name?
No, it's user testing is not back out. I'm not one for naming things.
No, I can tell.
I'm not sure if I like you.
Lappy's embodying her inner Maeve right now.
Yeah.
He looks at you and then he grins a little bit and goes, "No, I think I do. I like it." Yeah, yes.
We were wondering.
Listen, this guy worked with Leia. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just going to kill Patrick.
We
Yeah.
were wondering about your involvement with the. Like, looks to the group, like, in the heads, like, should I say it? I mean, I guess
Yes.
no reason not to.
Yeah.
With the Coriolis project.
Oh, the Coriolis project. Yes, a fine piece of work. Many years ago now, there was a thought that I could use the natural waves and the underlying tides of the ocean to propel a ship faster. And as I examined the technology, it occurred to me that I could build into the ship, or rather, it could be possible to build into the ship the ability to teleport. And I brought in some very, very knowledgeable people. I'm not sure how close you are. If you are aware of the Coriolis project, perhaps you've heard of Malloy.
Oh yeah, we also Malloy. Yes, we also want to know if, anything about what was his first name? John.
John Kilpatrick.
Lord John Kilpatrick.
Yes, Kilpatrick. He was he was one of the people who assisted with some of the terminology and some of the teleportation magics. He was a very powerful wizard at the time. Lost touch with him in the last few years, as my
Yes,
focus
'cause
is
he's gone
just
insane.
well, he was never playing with a full deck.
Well,
he-
have
He
you?
kind of got corrupted by Hadar.
I'm just letting that come out. Okay, cool. Thought we were gonna be
Erupted by what?
Sorry. I wasn't really thinking. I was just reading the diary out.
Oh, well, correct. He was always rather interested in what the Coriolis could do for him rather than what we could do for the Coriolis.
Yes. Did you
if
know
see
what
I mean.
what for him meant? Though?
Well, I assumed at first, I think rather foolishly, it was simply money and influence. That's what most people get into sponsoring this kind of activity for.
I think originally that was the plan, but after some choice issues, where he ended up starting a religion, his desires changed more for the Coriolis.
Do you know where it is now?
No, I have some questions for you though.
Okay.
I could find it, but there is a phrase. I don't want to say it because it will make me sound like Anthony Hopkins. But quid pro quo. You do something for me, I will do something for you, perhaps.
Depends on the thing, but we can certainly.
Well, I think you're already doing it in a kind of way. As you see, I am a fantastic creator of many a magical thing, and he gestures to what looks to the untrained eye like piles of shit everywhere. There are some like scrolls, potions, armors, stuff like that. He goes, I am a radical thinker. My mind is not contained by the simple laws of the universe. I find my mind wants to break out and design things, and most of them are pretty useful, like this tablet here. The Coriolis is another wonderful example. I have dabbled slightly in infusing spells into weapons, things like that. That's a gift Malloy was able to pass on for me. But I have some things I need testing. The Silver Hook have tested. If you're worried, this is a perfectly legitimate and above board activity, and certainly
Insight
nothing
check.
that yeah, you can roll insight.
Not that I care either way. 17.
It is probably not completely above board.
Fair. I don't care either way. I was
Yeah.
just wondering.
It may be slightly dangerous, but as you mentioned, the Silver Hook, when you first met the
I
Silver Hook-
remember.
yeah, you remember. The Silver Hook were playing with some of Weirbiddle Skiddle's stuff, like blowing
Yeah.
up carts and stuff in out in the field somewhere, and having a rare old time doing it and getting paid for the privilege. He's looking for people to test stuff for him.
Yeah.
So yes, there are a number of items. I will say there is an. He leans forward and goes, as always with these things, there is a small element of risk. But as he stands up and kind of leads away from you, I think I can richly or warmly or generously, perhaps, compensate you for any danger you find yourself in. And I would allow me to open doors to perhaps answer some more of your questions, since I don't have anyone to test my inventions.
Depending on the invention, I think we are up for that.
Excellent. Wait. And we necessarily don't have to do this right now. There's a few other things we can do, but let me see what we have. There's a couple of things I need to do.
Catalog.
Yes. Well, there are these, and he pulls out like a box of mushrooms. Because there's some mushrooms that I haven't been able to identify. There is. What's this? There's some unlabeled potions here that I made when I had a bit of a fever. There are some ones that I would like to test it out to see, because I don't know about you, but I find myself sometimes consumed by the drive to create, to build, to invent, and it gives me great joy when I discover something new.
I kind of get the urge as well.
Yes, the urge, and it gets its claws in, and you can feel it itching at the back of your head until, you wake up in the morning and you've created what looks to be like a simple method of putting out fires, but when you open up, you attach it, and it's actually a fire-breathing cannon of mass destruction. You know what it's like, so I create things, forget what they do,
pull
and
out
then
my arcade firearm.
I think Laffy's like wide-eyed, mouth agape, just staring between Aeon and Wormiddleskin, like, what? Huh?
I recently...
You never made an accidental flamethrower? It happens.
Look at this thing I made. I think it has uranium in it.
Yeah.
he starts ruling around and goes, as I say, I can read warmly. No, what is the word I wanted to use?
Richly?
It is not.
Richly, that's not.
Richly,
That's his voice.
richly implies gold. That is. I don't really deal in gold.
Greatly?
I can compensate you for what you do. I can infuse spells with items. For example, I recently, for a associate of mine, made some arrows that had the spell darkness in them. So you can fire them, and yes. And then there was some items that would allow people to teleport around. So I can make these for you if you wish. Things built
through
to
the telepathic link, Laffy doesn't really want to say anything out loud. Just maybe ask about William.
Do we know if they're linked?
They could be.
Have you heard? Does the name William? Is that name familiar to you?
I know like 17 of them.
Yes, it's not an
Okay, we're
uncommon
talking
name
about-
of humans or elves, I suppose.
No, we're talking about the high elf, like 3 inches taller than me, white, black hair, a little bit of salt and pepper, and
He's a wizard.
some-
Potentially a friend of your associate?
Well, the blonde girl. Do you know her? I have some things she'd
yes,
ordered,
yeah.
but well, if you know her, perhaps you
Oh,
can pass
If
things
you,
on.
think, if you have to think that she's actually a mate of ours, if you want, we can actually get back to her.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He turns to you.
I don't think we even need to do this check to know if she's
what?
interested.
Remind me, what was her name? As he's like trying to insight whether or not.
She used a fake name.
Oh,
Hold on.
It was
fake name.
Bowel.
No.
It was
No. It was Bo.
Bo.
Yeah.
Well
Yes.
Hunter.
Well
Hunter. Yes, of course, yes. Bo, of course. How could I?
Well,
how could I forget silly me?
thank you for whoever got that. Pete, you got that before me. I was scrolling up through my. I know I had it written down, but I was.
I know
Laffy,
it
were you about
because
to say Bowel Hunter?
No, because you
her name
did
is
use it.
Bowel Hunter.
Bowell Hunter is Bowel Hunter.
Bo, yeah, it's Bo. I know it because I remember Bo from Critical Role. And then I'm like, let's use that as the fake name. Yeah, okay. And I knew it was Bowel Hunter, but like weird. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He rifles through,
Nice one.
and he pulls out a single. It looks like a dart or like a crossbow bolt. And he goes, "This. I'm not sure who this was for, but the girl was how close are you to her? He kind of gives you another insightful look. Are you very good friends?
My sister.
Sister? He kind of like pulls a bit of her face. He goes, well, I'm sure she means well. This particular item, if you know the true name of somebody, write it on this. If you hit them with it, they cease to be.
Sorry?
The bee?
No,
Sorry,
they
can you-
cease to be. They become an ex-person. They die.
Well.
Okay, wait, James, what did he show? Sorry?
It's like a single crossbow bolt.
So,
It's
okay,
what?
sorry. It's so,
My
can I just
ordered this. This is for me. You can't have it. It's mine.
No, listen, I'm asking. I don't actually trust you.
I don't trust Lou with that at all.
Thank you. No, what I was going to say, you say it's a crossbow bolt that
Or yeah,
If you
basically
know-
it is a arrow.
it's a bolt
start-
of powered kill.
It's basically a bolt of, if you know the person's true full name,
Yeah.
you can fire it at them, and if it hits them, they will die.
It's the Death Note bolt. Basically,
Yeah, basically, yeah, Death Note bolt, yeah.
Oh, God.
Dips. I call dips. It's mine. Dips.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely
It's a very,
yes.
very dangerous item.
Lou, I brought you back into this world. I can take you back out to me. once.
oh,
No!
hold on. Like I said, we can actually take the stuff to her when we see her. If you'd like, we can. It's not a big deal. Was there anything else other than
On the telepathic link, Lorelai just
Not
says,
a big deal.
we can just put it in the bag of holding and not think about it for now.
He just says, well,
That's
the
kind
name,
of a
she didn't give me the name. The name can be inscribed on it as part of a ritual over 4 hours. You inscribe the name
Okay,
of the person
okay,
you
cool.
wish to
So
kill.
it's not
She
literally.
didn't tell
It's
me.
not like
Blue
muttering.
marble cut.
It's not like
No.
muttering the name, shooting it, killing someone. Okay, cool.
So to use this, you would need to know a few things, right? And you can make this as an item, whoever wants to carry it. You would need to know their full name, their race, and obviously you would need to be able to hit them.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So it is essentially like a ammunition of fuck you in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's why I
ammunition
should
of
have
fuck you, John
I
Kilpatrick.
will make it when I get the chance. I don't care who. Like, I mean, I do care that if Lou doesn't have it, but
If you don't care,
no, I'm gonna make it and I will call it a bolt of or an ammunition of fuck this guy.
Fuck you in particular, yeah.
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 You
So
know
it-
who genuinely could have it?
me.
Like uses
Rusty.
crossbows.
I know. I think hey, just no offense. I
So
think
when
I
I
make
say
more sense.
crossbow-
No one trusts you, Lou.
it's one of those weird things that could be a arrow or a crossbow.
Yeah,
Any
just like in-
ranged person can use it.
Yeah, it could
Well,
be
it's
like
just
it
not
could,
gonna
I
Yeah,
also
throw it
use
like a dart.
crossbows.
it could be put on in a
Yeah,
like,
or throw
I mean,
it
like
like
a
a dart.
bullet or like a
Or catapult.
ammunition of that guy does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
this
I
is-
have catapult. I could use it.
Are you gonna
So it
hurl
can
it
only
at
have
funny?
one name on it. It can only have one name on it.
Yeah.
Imagine like a shotgun. It's a shell. You shoot it. Everyone in the brain.
Oh my god, I just remembered artificers, like you saying catapult, just remembered if I had that I could essentially become Yondu. Just whistle and send it out.
It's,
no.
yeah, telekinesis would be dope with that.
That's
Um,
fun.
But
Yeah.
so you only
Yeah,
have one.
that's
He reluctantly hands it over. He goes, well,
Can I just
would
say, I'm just gonna put it in the bag of holding for now.
Yeah,
like I'm not. The only reason I hold it is to put it in the bag. As you know, I open the bag of holding, have him, but I don't want to touch it.
okay.
Like,
Thank you very much. I will say as well, if it puts your mind at ease, if it puts your mind at ease, I've built in a failsafe in all the devices I build that I cannot be targeted by them. So,
Self-destruction button.
no, it just means you can't write my name on it. It just won't take. So he drops in. So my hands are clean.
I don't
Yes,
even
I'm
know
not-
That's clever. That is such a clever
that's
idea.
actually a good point. You have to spell his name correctly.
Yes.
His name is
I
so
would
long
give you a
it's
card.
Arrow, so he's,
No,
he's
I
weird.
think the failsafe for this one is the fact his name is too long. You can't fit it on the
Yeah.
thing. If you
I
try.
said
That's
that. God damn it!
I didn't hear what he said. Sorry.
It's only his last name as well. So yes.
John, we're better skip.
So yes, you were asking. Sorry, so you've agreed to do a little bit of work for me. That's wonderful.
Yep.
These missions are not outstandingly dangerous. Nothing to worry about. There is, I say, a soupçon, a sprinkling of danger is not the right word. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Anyway, so you've agreed to do that for me, and thus, because of the great turning of the wheel, I shall answer some more questions that you have come to me about. And he smiles this big, like, grin. He's missing a few teeth that look like they've been cracked at some point. He smiles this big grin.
Just going back to your associate Bo, did she actually? We never really did get a clear answer. Did she mention anyone called William at all?
William. Now I think about it, yeah, she mentioned like a patron, not like a warlock thing, but like a sponsor, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yes, a sponsor in the north. Somebody who was sent to me via Malloy. But I've not spoken to Malloy in a long time, so we've fallen out rather. He's rather touchy. I prefer my weapons, even though they could be very, very destructive. Malloy was always far too into the zappy, element of it. I like my designs to be more useful than destructive, even though I have just literally handed you a bolt of that person must die. Majority of things I try to make have a practical use, much like the Coriolis. That in theory was meant to be a way to transport food and items across the continent at a drop of a hat, but obviously went missing. I would love very much to see it again. It's
Is there a way you can find it?
There may be a way that I can find it. Yes, this. Well, if it's back here, if it wasn't destroyed, which I'm assuming because you're talking about it, it hasn't been. I was sitting comfortably. I don't care. So I am sitting comfortably. That is the main thing. So the Coriolis was a project, as I say, to get a ship and have it to teleport between one place and another via water. At first, that was the idea. Via the undercurrents would allow of rapid transportation in one area and reappear at another, record-breaking time, and allow us to transport food from Algadane into Yadrodan and magical items from Yadrodan into Algadane and alleviate some of the stresses and some of the problems in transporting materials through the different areas. So that was the idea. So Malloy came to me, and we discussed it, and then he brought on board Kilpatrick, and then there were elements of concern that there was Kilpatrick was a very powerful conjuration wizard, that we realized we needed some direction from someone who could predict what was going on a little bit. So we brought in dear Olivia, and we all worked together for a number of years, and the project was, I would say, largely a success. We designed this large ship, contained almost like, oh, where do we have anything here? Do we have anything here? Yes. And he pulls out this bottle, like a wine bottle. It's almost like this. It's spherical from the outside, and then comes to a point at the front. So that because there would need to be someone leading, a captain perhaps. Then we could fill the majority of the ship with different materials, so magical materials or food, and then teleport them out. Now, on the first day, the first test, the food went fine. They did no problems there. We thought we'll try it with people, and so a few people got on board, and a couple of magical items. We're going to try to teleport it to another area, and that's when we lost it completely. It just completely vanished. Never heard from it again.
Who was on that ship?
It was years ago. I will have to dig out my notes. Kilpatrick helped. I don't remember. Do you remember the name of every person who died a decade ago? I certainly don't.
No, but if I was partially responsible for it, I might.
I pull out Kilpatrick's diary, and I go, you don't know what triggered the Coriolis to just go and vanish?
Well, and I must say, I do not feel that pointing the finger of blame is particularly appropriate, because, as I say, it was experimental. I was not the only person involved in creating it. I do not think I should be blamed for.
I didn't blame you. I said partially responsible.
I don't think you're to blame at all, Wurbiddle Skiddle. This diary says that the experiment with the Coriolis was sabotaged. That Kilpatrick sabotaged it himself.
Strange decision for a man who'd invested so much time and effort into it. I could find the
he
names, I suppose.
wanted to dive it into the outer realm.
I suppose that would be possible. The teleportation was limited to this plane only by virtue of it. Pardon?
That was music. The music there.
Oh, yeah. We could brought to this plane only by virtue of it being. Well, why would we want to go anywhere else? Really? Why would we want to send it off to a different? Well, anywhere other than here is not useful to me at all. So I didn't even consider that anyone would wish to do that. It is redundant. So
Yeah.
I suppose if Kilpatrick was.
I said that he kind of went off the deep end a little bit. He started his own religion, and that's kind of morphed into a cult. This diary, it says a lot of information. Namely, can I go over the link and just be like, shall we just tell him?
Yeah, I think I would say at this point go for it. Yeah.
This diary says that Kilpatrick was corrupted by a being known as Hadar, a being, a star, a disaster waiting to happen, a calamity. I don't know what to really call him, but it seems like he was sending the Coriolis into the outer realm to take the essence of Hadar, and I don't know how recently, but he's got back into the link with the Coriolis and is bringing it back with the essence of Hadar to corrupt the world.
Interesting choice, I suppose. I can't follow the logic myself, but I suppose if that's what he wants to do, that's what he's going to do. Yes, he was a very, very competent wizard. I see that sending things to the outer realms to bypass some of the weight and mass restrictions we experience on this realm could be a way to bypass. Well, it would work, I suppose. Yes, because out there that weight and mass mean nothing, and we could fill the boat with whatever we want. But it's somewhat of a small relief to realise that it's a sabotage rather than incompetence. It's that's quite good. That's just a shame there were people on the boat, really. So you're saying that this man is trying to put the essence of a outer being into a ship that I designed and then bring it here to destroy the world?
Yes.
Well, fact being running.
Yeah, we've actually also we've recently also told one of your partners on the Coriolis project similar stuff.
You've been in touch with Malloy?
No, not Malloy. Olivia.
With Olivia.
Oh, Olivia. How is she?
Well,
Blind.
Blind? Oh.
By
Yes.
her own admission, it seems like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it takes all sorts, I suppose. Okay. Well, so I'm guessing you. I say guessing. What do you want from me? I can try to find the Coriolis. The issue is if it isn't here, and I try to find it, if it is in the outer plane and it's trying to be brought back, me trying to find it would assist that, I suppose.
Well, I feel like
Well, I was actually, I had a question. The rabbit constellation, one of the stars just sort of.
Okay.
I
Good.
wasn't sure if you were
Bad.
aware of that.
I keep my focus mainly in the here and now. I'm
well,
sure there is a use for astrology, but when it's putting a firebolt into a 50p piece, not really.
Well, according to this diary, it looks like that Eye of the Rabbit might have been. Why did I look at chat? It looks like that Eye of the Rabbit in that constellation may have. I'm suspecting it's Hadar. All signs are pointing to that being the consumer, and
So the face this guy's pulling as you're talking, I'm trying to think of an adequate way. Like he's it's not going over his head. He's understanding what you're saying, but he's very much like, how is this relevant to me? Okay, cool, but like he has no frame of reference to like be able to tell you whether you're right or wrong. He's a little bit befuddled.
Well, I guess one of the things we could do with you is if the Coriolis was to appear back in our realm, how would we stop it?
You have a failsafe like you do on the.
Yeah,
thing.
you have a.
You did say you have failsafes and everything.
Yes, weapons, but the Coriolis was never meant to be a weapon. Let me think. Bear with me a moment. And he kind of like goes over and opens a drawer, rifles through it for a second, then goes to another drawer, rifles through it, and pulls out a book. Yes, here we have the original notes. When the project went wrong, I shelved it because I was. Well, no, it's not. It's a design. It's a design. There is an element. So the ship itself, the original design, I say, was to travel without an engine. However, it became very much apparent that for this kind of activity, from jumping from one place to another, there would be an element, a requirement of power. So there was an arcane heart placed on the ship. I suppose if you were to overload the heart, it would destroy itself very quickly, within minutes, I think. It would collapse in upon itself, be very dangerous for anybody on board. Perhaps give you a chance to get off there. You could force the heart, I suppose, to consume itself. Yes,
like a black hole.
More like putting too much air into a balloon.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you feed the arcane engine back into itself, and because it was not designed to be overcharged, it would explode, but then the explosion would cause it to shift again, and the explosion would be taken in with the shift. But anybody on board would, I'm afraid, be either annihilated entirely, scattered across the astral realm, or fused with the ship.
Well, I feel like if anyone was on board that ship, they're probably not the best person anymore.
But I mean, the person who was to set the engine to collapse in on itself.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I mean, it wouldn't happen instantly. There would be a little bit of time, I suppose. Bear with me. I will see if there is a detailed map. And he starts like scrolling through the book.
Through the link I'm sending to everyone. Do you think Kudo's Echo could do it?
Not that. You need to be close to it, and if we think about this, it'd have to be very far away.
Yeah.
And the echo can't physically interact.
It can physically. It can open doors.
It's like a momentary. I always think it's like a momentary. Like it becomes corporeal to do something, and then goes back to being like a weird semi-object thing.
It can it can open a door, like stuff like that. But like,
an open door, pick up an object, hit someone with a weapon, but it's not it's not intelligent.
He opens it. He finds a design and shows you the scale of this thing. This isn't like a canoe or like a boat. This is a bigger than the cruise ship you were on. It's like twice the length of it. It's massive.
Is it kind of like Galactic, a Battlestar Galactica level?
It's kind of like more like a submarine.
Oh, okay.
I imagine like a nuclear submarine, that kind of size.
Yeah,
it's an
like really long.
You know, can I just say, if only we had one member of the party who we didn't care about, who wasn't really real, who happened to die recently, that we could have used to get up there.
Yeah,
we could have had Fred's final. Fred's shut the fuck up. Fred's final. Like that could have been his final hurrah. Kaboom!
Where is the kaboom?
Werbidor Skittle. And if the Coriolis appeared in our realm, is there a way to transport someone onto it from like here or
well, with the spell teleportation, many things are possible. What the design of the Coriolis was to do is to make the casting of teleportation mundane, so to make it a repeatable thing, so we could do say 5-6 castings of that a day with many tons of materials on there. That was a design. So yes, I presume I would. Well, my concern would be that if
it were to get here, it would already be.
Well, more practical than that. The ship itself was a powerful magical item that had to be protected with runes, spells, to prevent it falling apart as it moved from place to place. It'd have to be able to withstand great pressures because it would disappear in one location and potentially reappear underwater in another, which comes with stresses as well. So the ship itself was reinforced, which was why I was so surprised when I thought it had been destroyed, because of the effort we'd gone into. If that makes sense. So if you were trying to teleport somebody on board, it could work so long as there'd been no additional protection put on it. I can't say exactly because I wasn't fully in charge of that aspect, but I would say that perhaps he would want to teleport on there if he is sending. He wants to bring in great Oogie Boogie from beyond here. I don't know. I don't know.
calling him that from now on. Make him sound less threatening.
Darwin's the great Oogie Boogie.
If I'm being perfectly frank here, Kilpatrick was a twat. He used to steal all of my supplies and reroute everything into research for his transportation spells. And yes, I understand it was a great, big, and very important part of the ship itself. But to be honest, I found it very frustrating because they were my workers. He was short shifting, and to be honest, I found it completely unacceptable.
Actually, speaking about Kilpatrick, do you know of anything he might have been, like, something that he might be sad to lose, or like any weaknesses he might have if worst comes to worst?
Oh yes, there's always kryptonite. No, I'm afraid in terms of weaknesses or things he was afraid to lose, he always talked very fondly about his, I'm afraid to say, sadly deceased wife. He was very fond of the farm he grew up on. He wouldn't shut the fuck up about his house in the north. He was always very fond.
House in the north. Where was this house in the north?
Oh, now you are stretching my memory. There was a house. It was part of a village in the north. It was one of the few places where there was a ready supply of food, and it was like a tourist trap almost, where people could go. There was some interesting geography there. He used to visit it very regularly. There was a big fondue place. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, fuck. Okay, cool.
Huh?
He was always very in terms of weaknesses. It sounds very strange to talk about people like this. He was very fond of the webs he spun. You know, he.
So wait, where? Sorry, that fondue. Where was that? If you can give me.
I would have to look. I would have to go.
Oh no, just like it can be a general thing, so I can write in my notes now.
If I could show you on the map, which would be easy because I don't have to remember the place. It would be in the Rathon Peaks. It would be like up here, but yes, it is the place. We had that one shot with the big cheese wheel. I will have to listen to it. I don't have that in my notes.
I don't know if it was named, but yeah.
It did have a name. I just can't remember what it was called. It might be on the. If you find the podcast, it might say there. But anyway,
I'm in fondue.
But he goes, yes, he was. In terms of weaknesses, he was always most susceptible to flattery and to the promise of power. So he would weave his webs and get his fingers into many pies, and he would insinuate himself with those smarter, for example myself, Malloy, more powerful, for example myself, Malloy, Olivia, than himself. And
he's not the only one susceptible to flattery then.
Well, no, it's not flattery if it's true, is it? And it's. But thank you, I appreciate it. But in terms of, he often found himself in circles where he was outclassed by those with more power or influence than him, and so it doesn't surprise me to hear that he has decided to jump a few rungs of the ladder, as it were, to gain access.
And how does he feel about his eyes?
His eyes?
Yeah.
Well, I can't really remember his eyes. He used them, I suppose. Read with them. Looked at things. I don't know what you're asking here.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, a quick one for you. In terms of when you can get this feedback form to me, I do have a couple of updates for the tablet if you would like me to apply them now. It would allow you to send voice messages. And also locate the, if you are associates or friends with any of the users. For example, you mentioned Cal and Jericho and Timothy from the Hook. You could find where their tablet is at the moment if you were to get separated. You could be directed to them. If you wish, I could apply that to the tablet now. You can tell me if you think those are useful features.
I think that makes sense. Find my tablet.
Yep. Oh shit, Rusty's got it. He's playing Fruit Ninja.
Oh, it's fine. We got it now.
He's watching Bluey.
We use Riptide one. Riptide has one.
Oh yeah, shit. Here you go. Sorry, I've been quiet. It's okay. All right, nice one. So he goes. One small thing. There is one small, tiny, minuscule. You seem to be adventuring types. Would that be a fair estimation?
Mm-hmm.
Well, excellent. For those adventuring types who are willing to do work for me, there is another avenue that I have been most interested to investigate, and unfortunately the Silverhook have not really been forthcoming with their availability. They've been focused on trivial things, like there was a small scuffle between some of the gangs. I've got to admit I did get my fingers rather burnt on that one, but it's all sorted now. But what I've been really looking for is a sensible group of people, much like yourselves, who can go out there and find unique creatures. So on your tablet, and he kind of like waves his fingers over there, and he types them in really quickly. I've placed in a number of creatures that I wish for you to deal with for me, encounter, and bring back a small memento so I may examine their bodies, or parts of them anyway, to learn more about them. And
ARPG bounty board.
As he turns it round to you, you see there is a list of strange words. I'll go with words on there. As you cast your eyes down, you see.
So James, can I just say, are these all puns before you start speaking?
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
then me.
Yeah, okay. You see the Wetty, the abominable slush man, Frankenspire, Pigfoot, Shampires, aka fake vampires, Basilisks, Freddy Cougar, a scary cougar, the Chimera.
Sorry, when it says cougar, does it mean the big cat or like a woman?
Up to you, baby. The Chimera, Chimera who's never spoken. Trollololols. The Womanticore. The Magusa. The Bear Owl. The Mindslayer. The Beholder. Just a whole list of stupid puns I could think of from D&D Monsters that he hands over. If you are in a position to encounter any of these creatures, the tablet will ping, and it will direct you to them, and you can fight them, defeat them, and add them to the Pokedex. And from there, I will give you a reward for every monster you kill. Why not?
Sorry, I've been flat for a second, but I knew it's going to happen at some point.
Oh,
I can send you the list if you wish.
Yeah.
There are some other ones on there, like the oh yeah. Fucking, this is the stupidest one. Instead of a Minotaur, it's a Yorzator. So yeah, there's some really fucking stupid ones on there. I will send you the list at some point. As and when, I was very close to introducing this when you were on the way to Greencrest, but it was not tonally appropriate, so I didn't. However, I'm doing it now. So
it's more tonally appropriate right now.
It is slightly more tonally appropriate. I don't want to. This has been something I've been planning since session 1.
I remember seeing this list so long ago. Oh god.
But yeah, so he hands over that list and he's got a smug smile and goes, yes, if for everyone you are able to defeat, I will grant you a small boon, a small gift, perhaps a unique item or one of the sigils that I've collected in my time, and add it to a piece of armor or clothing or weapon or item you have to beef them up somewhat, if you wish.
Bear owl. I hope it's just a normal owl bear.
But yeah, he goes, so, is there anything else you wish to ask of me? Because I say, I have some potions on the boil right now, so I do have work to do.
Well, I think looks at the group. There's one thing I did want to ask, and it might be nothing. So, do you know anyone who goes by the name Elder Noxious?
Elder Noxious.
And I will
No.
inside if he does say anything.
Okay. Yes, the name. Well, there have been.
No, fucking hell, never mind. My passive 6
Yeah. So he says yes. Anyway, he thinks about it. He goes, I've never. But there are a number of names that pop up. The Elder Noxious being one of them. There is a group in the area, a dangerous group, a few dangerous groups, if I'm being honest. Have you heard of the Chloride Path?
Yes.
Well, the Elder Noxious is one of the 5, I suppose, 5 now, heads of the.
We
of the
we know that. Do you know anything more
Oh.
specific?
Well, it would have helped. I would have been less dramatic if you told me what you knew before I started talking. But I suppose that the Noxious was the first one here from memory. So I find myself in an enviable position. Being an independent contractor, as it were, I am sometimes facilitated into conversations with members of certain groups, shall we say, who operate outside of the legal means. For example, I recently did some work for the Black Rock Tally, and this means that to keep myself safe, I need to put myself in a position that outside of their day-to-day disagreements, and so the Elder Noxious, I remember, came to prominence, or at least I heard rumblings of the Elder Noxious. Ooh, 30 years or so ago, as the Chloride Path started introducing themselves slowly at first. Of course, they very tentative. They spent most of their time, I think presumably being to do with dragons, came from Algadane. They wormed their way into society, places of power, places where they could influence. The Elder Noxious being one of the first. There's always been a bit of confusion as to whether she was a follower of black dragons or green. But yes, I've never met them. There have been members of the Chloride Path who've come to me for items. For example, I made a mask for one of them, an icy mask. In fact, he looks over at Riptide. That mask
Riptide
right
has
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I made that mask for them, the cheeky buggers. There are a few other things I've made. I made a spear. I made I've made a number of staffs that could control the elements, or at least fine-tune them. They brought items to me that have asked.
Wait, so an icy mask, a spear.
A spear.
Yeah.
So one of the pieces of work I did.
A number of staffs.
Staffs to channel elemental powers from. They brought these items.
So
to me.
like laughing stuff, I assume.
Yeah. So he elaborates on that slightly by saying that they bring him magical items, and he beefs them up.
Yeah.
Or like overcharges them a little bit. But yeah, because with regards to specifics, they often, I know they often wear disguises, and I never ask because it is not really of any interest to me. As long as I get my materials to carry my work, I don't really care.
The spear. What were you asked to imbue it with?
It was a fiery spear. It could channel the power of a dragon's breath in flame. In terms of flame, it's a red dragon spear. Very dangerous item. So I made it, I suppose, worse, more dangerous, certainly. It could absorb fire from other sources, redirect it. It was hot to the touch. It would burn. Would cauterize wounds, so it would be difficult to heal. Things like that. Listen, I just do what I'm asked.
I just work here.
Yes, I just work here. Listen,
I
I
was just wondering, because we've had a few run-ins with them, and don't really like them very much. So, just asking. Yeah. If you do know anything, and looks to him like pretty intensely for a second, and we didn't ask about any of this, and if if you do learn anything more, we do have tablets you can contact us with, and we'd be happy to try and help with any other things.
Yeah, so just to make sure, you weren't here, but if I think of anything else, you'd be glad to hear of it.
We
Wink,
weren't
wink.
here if anyone else asks.
Ah, I see. Yes, of course. Yes, well, this is all fine, all above board, I'm sure. No problems for me. He's going to start
The
ushering
board
you
as
to the door.
your tests.
Yes. Well, I will be in touch with some... Oh, boat, you mentioned?
We're in need of a boat.
A boat. I have access to a boat. There was one that I recently finished. I suppose a boat would be as good a word as any. Yes. I would have to inquire as to whether you could use it. I tell you what, leave it with me. I'll see what I do. I must show you to the door now, however, as I can smell my potions on the turn, so I need to take them off, and that is very, very
we should run.
and also, I'm sure you have someone else to speak to before midnight. Ah!
We got 5 minutes.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes. No, you haven't. It's fine.
It's already past midnight for me. It's been an hour.
We have 5 minutes. You have to leave.
He
Okay.
gestures you to the door, and he goes, "I will be in touch with the tablets if I." Yes, I think boat. Yes, and he's got this really weird, joyous smile on his face. Boat. Yes, I think that would work. Yes. And he turns around, he's clearly talking to himself, and you hear all the locks go again. And he just like chunners to himself as he goes off.
This guy's fucking insane.
Yeah, I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie.
Of course you do.
Of course you would. I bet
Oh,
you like
He's
alchemist.
going to Sissy
too.
in the last.
Yes.
Okay.
Do
so
we hear
you
like an
head-
explosion?
As
as
long
we
as that
walk away?
pervy rat's not there.
Hey, rat.
Hey,
Oh
dog.
no, I
Don't
have
worry
to say
about
Harold.
Hey, Beth, just don't cast Speak with Animals.
I mean, I always do if there's animals, and she's got a cat and a dog.
Yeah. So you head there,
Just
and
don't
you,
cast Speak with Rats.
Yeah.
as you approach, you see a rat jumping from the pier into the water, not giving you a chance to speak to it. As Sissy is like cleaning out.
It's like the scene in Ratatouille.
Yeah. The Sissy's. I can't remember if I described it as a hole. It's definitely like half a tunnel into the side of the port. How I pictured it. It's kind of like a spherical hole, and she's like
Imagine
having
like a hovel.
a hovel, and she's like spring cleaning it. You hear what sounds like
Cleaning a hovel.
attempted Disney princess start singing. I will roll for it. She does an.
Oh,
So
God.
she's about
Give
as
us
good a
a-
job
give
as-
us a-
yeah.
An example.
What is it from Enchanted? How does it go? That one from basically, whistle while you work. And carefully
see.
together we can whistle while we work to have a merry tune. Like that. And it is as flat as a pancake. She needs to get a better fucking keychain because she cannot find the key she's meant to be singing in. She is.
I mean, she
dreadful.
doesn't. I assume she doesn't have a lock, so that's probably why.
Yeah. She is all over the. It's like, have you seen? It's one of the old Britain's Got Talent videos. I think the caption is like the definition of when your mum makes you bring your brother along, and it's a guy singing "Mysterious Girl," and then he's got his brother who raps with him, and he's just got zero charisma.
Yeah.
It's like it's like that. She's flat. She's out of tune. She's offbeat. The animals are like leaving in droves. It's like the fucking squirrels at the start of Baldur's Gate. They're all running. But she's having a good time. It doesn't matter. It's like me singing in the shower. It doesn't matter how you sound if you're having a good time. But she, turns around. She goes, "Oh!" And then she like kind of like skips up and goes, "Oh my goodness, Laffy!
Hi.
Everyone else's name. I'm sure I definitely know. Hi."
Honestly, I don't. You might actually know. I think we met you very briefly once.
Yeah, it's
I don't think
Wolf?
you met me at all.
I don't met you. You definitely recognise your face. You've changed your hair. Anyway, hi. I'm Sissy. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi. Oh wow. Come in. Don't mind the mess. I just pull up a
Is it big
file.
enough? I thought it was like a.
We can squeeze in. We can all squeeze in. I just sit in the back.
Riptide Laurel down and just like standing
Oh, yeah.
outside.
I think I would recognise you. She's like, all right. I was like, yeah, come in.
All right.
G'day.
G'day. Right. All right. And she like scoops and she goes, yeah, this is kind of like Sue's
Sits on
place.
like a
It's just-
stool that is
Yeah.
tiny.
It's just a bit like Sue's place. It's not quite, just a bit small for me. She's like, well, sorry, it's as you know, you do. Oh yeah, it's fine. Sorry, I'm not. Also, don't mean to speak bad about your place. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I know. Anyway, they have this very awkward like exchange of words. And she, oh, Laffy, I'm so glad. Are these your friends? Oh, I'm so glad to see you again. I can feel your aura, your druidic aura from here. It's so bright. It's so
Your
bright.
vibes are so bro.
Your vibes
no-
are so on point.
No, I can like your connection to nature has grown so much. I can feel it from over here. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. So tell me everything.
She's
Did you
like
find-
smiling, like, yeah, well, you
Yeah.
know, things happened.
so tell me, did you find Ned?
Well, that's kind of why
We did the
Right.
first time.
Yeah, I kind of
you
wanted to
did.
ask if you'd seen him
Well,
recently.
Well, I know I sent you after his dad about a month ago. Was it about a month?
Yeah.
It must have been about a month ago. I haven't heard much since, if I'm being honest. He kind of like I sent him after you. I didn't hear anything, and then I found like a note about a week later asking me to meet him somewhere,
Oh,
and I went, but he wasn't there. So I haven't heard anything since. And then I
Yeah,
thought I
so-
had the note, and I wasn't 100% sure it was from him because his signed "Love Ned," and that doesn't sound like something. Because we'd split up, and we'd had some pretty harsh words. But then he tried to be romantic every now and then. So you haven't seen him?
no. We originally saw him, and he was scared that the chloride path were going to kill him. So
Or maybe
we
he's-
took him to the hunt.
Oh, he must have been. She kind of looks around. He must have been shitting himself.
Yeah, well, the problem is, one of the leaders, who goes by Elder Noxious, I've, like, checked to see if there was a reaction to that name.
No visible reaction. Of the
Um,
hunt or of
No,
the
of
chloride
the
path?
chloride path.
Oh,
Well, they took on the form of me and attacked the hunt, and
oh my god.
yeah, apparently they went for Ned, and nobody's seen him since.
Oh. Oh my god.
And I think that was
That
about
was okay.
was that about a month ago? About 3 weeks ago?
It was pretty soon after.
Yeah, it's
So it
probably
would have
the
been
same
around the
day.
time that-
Yeah,
You got
I
the
think it was a
note.
few days after, yeah.
yeah. Oh
Did you
my
say that
God.
the note said "Love Ned"?
Well, I have it somewhere. He signed it off, Love Ned. Hang on.
Could I see? Yeah,
Yeah. So.
Lara,
she-
could I have the letter that you got from Elder
Oh,
Noxious?
yeah, I find whichever.
The one that says "My Lorelei" on it.
Yeah, whichever has whichever the longest note is. I can't remember if there's more than one.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You dig it out. And you look at it, and it's like yours forever. XOXOXO.
I don't need to know what it says.
No, no.
I'm just I handed to that.
I'm assuming you're comparing the handwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you make an investigation check?
I will. I do have. I have a +3. I don't know. I would
You
have.
have-
I was
I
gonna
have
say.
expertise.
I was
Can
gonna
also
say I
roll?
would
I
give
haven't
my
used my
Also-
advantage yet. Hang on.
I can also give a +4 with Flash of Genius.
I mean, you
So
have a
that's-
rogue with I think forgery proficiency with you, or had.
Oh
forgery
no, I just
proficiency at
have
one point.
expertise in investigation.
Okay. I will say, Laffy, with yours, there are similarities, but you can't be sure it's the same hand.
Was
With a
it 18?
18? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With an
Flash
18,
genius.
Giving a Flash of
oh,
Genius.
sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry. With that, there are definitely certain elements in the letter that look very, very similar. But as you examine more, it's
Genius.
it does look as. So you ask her for a copy of a note that you know Ned has written, like that she's confident Ned has written. As you kind of examine the 3 notes, and it's more that the note has been written to not look like Ned's handwriting. It's like it's been written to disguise it. It doesn't look. It's been written by the Elder Noxious's hand. They're very different styles, like the very loopy letters, like big drops on the G's and stuff. This has been written very hastily, and whilst there are some similarities, it's clearly either somebody doing a very, very good job of disguising it, or a completely different person.
I want to test something now.
Okay.
Lorelei, do you still have the letter that I gave you?
I have a few of them, I think. Yeah.
This pie,
You have
these
so many
us
letters
players
in
and
the deck.
letters, Jesus.
I know.
I-
So
Yeah, I give up.
when I believe that when Elder Noxious gave Lorelei the letter, that she would have been disguised as Laffy from that point,
Okay.
because I think
I
it was the
don't-
same time.
It was a.
Because you saw Elder Noxious in the thing when she turned around and she was like,
we saw her that day where we were fighting the ice people, and she turned around as you to fuck with Base next shows.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that was when that letter was written. I could be wrong. Can I compare that letter to my handwriting?
It's at a glance completely different.
Okay.
Like I don't know what a Laffy's handwriting is. This, as I say, has got. This is almost like.
Ridiculous. It's like calligraphy.
Yeah, this isn't like that. It's got big loops and like hung letters and stuff, but it's definitely the hand of someone who has to do a lot of writing. So it's efficient, but there are flares to it. If that makes sense, it's not like calligraphy.
Because I don't understand what Elder Noxious would want with you, Sissy. If it was her that sent this letter and wanted you to go somewhere.
Where were you sent to go? And if anyone was there someone around you could see who was like?
Well,
looking?
this is why I went, because I thought it was safe, because it's in the middle of the day, and it was just to the north of the city. It wasn't far. It didn't seem dangerous, so I thought I would be safe because there's people about. It was up near the High Mornings, which is basically a part of the city that's between 2 gates, and it's one of the first places that gets lit up in the morning. But it's like on a slight hill, and it's illuminated. It's one of the first places that gets light in the morning.
Well, other things. When was that? And did you see anyone else around? Obviously, it was a while ago. But
I saw
if you can
loads of
remember
people.
anything.
I was looking out. I was really looking out. I promise. But there was loads of people, which is why I thought it was safe. It was like lunchtime, and so
Is
I
there anybody
went
looking at you?
Didn't see anyone. I was looking for Ned, so I wasn't looking. I'm sorry.
No,
That's
don't
fine.
be sorry. I'm
I'm
concerned for
just a
your
bit-
safety.
Well, it was a while. It was like two and a half, maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm more worried about Ned. If he's, do you think is Ned dead?
I don't know, but I'm also not sure how to find him.
He wasn't the best guy, but he was. In fairness, could be pretty awful, but
I know that you care about him. That's why I came to you.
it's hard when you can't help your feelings, and he did let me down, but he didn't always let me down. Anyway. But no, it's great to see you. I wish I could help more. I know you've been traveling, and I don't know if you're here to stay. But I was wondering cause I know you went to the north to the Lupin Vale. I wondered if you'd been back, or if you were planning to go back, because after you'd been, there was obviously said you'd had the fight there, but from my sources, from what I feel from the ground, there'd been some earthquakes and stuff, and
The disturbance in the force.
yeah, and kind of, and I heard that there were. I wondered if like a basilisk or something like that had got out, because apparently some people were found turned to
Lisp or a
stone.
basilisk?
I
in
don't know.
The Lupin Vale.
With their weird S's.
Near the Lupin Vale, yeah. So not in the Vale itself, in one of the villages outside. There was. So when you left, obviously there was. Now this is James asking, so I can't actually remember. Did you tell Sissy what happened? I think you did. I think you mentioned
Yeah.
about the big plant. Yeah. Just when you mentioned about the plant being killed and all the roots were pulled up, obviously the food is kind of not completely dried up, but got dried up a little bit. But there was some earthquakes a week or so back,
Mhm.
and I thought it was just the ground resettling. But in the last few days, a few people have gone missing, and people are starting to worry. And they reached out to me, and I said, "Well, I know a really good group of adventurers. I thought of you guys straight away. So if you find yourselves near there, if you could pop your head in, it's because there's people gone missing and people are getting scared."
Yeah, of course. We have a few plans actually. We're headed to the north first.
Okay.
Well, to the nets.
Okay.
But then
Well,
when we
I'm-
come back, we're going that way, so we can definitely check it out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, hang on a minute. Let me get my notes on it. So yeah, there was, we thought maybe it was like a Medusa or a Gorgon. And so if you can, it's just near the
Was
Vale.
there any was there any weird slime around? Was it a Magusa?
I
Was
don't
there...
know what that is.
Neither do I. Was
Did
there any
anyone
strange...
say there was a lisp?
Yeah, did anyone scream but really
I-
weirdly? Like,
I- I don't know, but I mean, there's a few things. So, that way, I mean, I don't know if you speak to any other druids. I don't know if you have other druid friends.
No.
Okay. No, I was only worried because about what I'm saying. So there's been this. There's many ways that people try to help with the undead, and there's a thought that that druids could help by focusing the undead in a particular area and boxing them in. And so a group of druids, some of my friends, and they tried to convince me, but I've been worried about now, so I don't want to go. Have headed over to the Blighted Lands, the Deadlands, to try to create like a focus point for the undead, where they can basically cap the overflow by continuously destroying them, but like creating a lot of areas, like a big area for the zombies to, lack of a better word, spawn, and then immediately destroying them to kind of draw the area in. I don't know if that's a super great idea.
what was anyone like a bit nervous? Was anyone told about that before they went?
No, with druids just kind of do what they want.
That's a really bad idea.
I thought so too, but they had decided it was a great idea. So if you are going that way,
Do you know
and
any
it's
of
not-
these? Do you know any? Yeah, how long ago do you know any of these people? Like
It was-
names?
it-
and stuff?
it was like 3 weeks. Well, there was. Fucking hell, I don't have names for these people.
It's fine if you don't. That's fine.
yeah.
You can tell me at some point or whatever.
Steve, Tom,
Okay,
Dick,
I'm
and
not. I'm
Harry.
not. If
Yeah.
you're making them up, I'm not going to write them down.
Yeah, I will come with it.
Not
I didn't.
Harry.
Yeah. So
Harry Potter.
Handsome Harry? That one?
Seven of them who went out to do this, and I think they think that with 7 druids they can do whatever they want. You know, they can focus the undead in one area and burn them out. But
If you have any way of communicating with them, it might be best to tell them to come back.
I
I don't think it's a good idea, and there's things that are going to be happening in the next few weeks, months that are going to make. They're going to need more than 7 druids.
I'll try. I can send a message to them. Yeah. Do you know the
They
spell Animal
definitely-
Messenger?
It's a really bad spell.
Yeah.
Well, it's
No.
fine for this. I mean, I can send a pigeon that way. The undead don't care about pigeons.
Wow.
Did
But
the
they
owl.
don't. An owl, no. I mean, but owls
Yeah,
are
They
faster.
just
Actually,
know
yes.
as birds.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Sissy, while I'm here, I'm gonna this is probably a stupid idea because I've been told not to tell a lot of people, but I don't know. I trust Sissy. I don't know if people are going to disagree with me with that. I'm going to relay the basic things that have happened over the past couple of months. I'm not going to do it now because obviously time, but I'm going to include the fact that Laffy found out. What race is Sissy?
I think you have the source book. She's a elf, I think, or a halfling.
So she'd know briefly of the Little Sisters.
So as I said before, the
I
Little
think
Sisters
it's common
are the
knowledge
equivalent-
about the sisters, to be honest.
No?
It's
Nah,
not
it's like an urban
uncommon
legend
knowledge.
almost.
Yeah, it's more like, as I said this before, they imagine the muses from Greek mythology. I have my own favourites, but that's because I think
I don't know
what
who
is
the-
described as a
who
fucking.
those
Have you never heard of the name Calliope?
No. Well, outside of
Right.
God of War, not.
Well, so
Calliope
Calliope from God of War
from God of
is-
War probably was one
is
of
the
like,
fucking muse, right?
Well,
So-
Calliope from God of War is the daughter of Kratos, who gets axed like 5 minutes into the first game.
or probably
Okay.
named after that.
Yeah. So the muses in Greek mythology, there was I think 12 of them. I can't remember all the names, but there's art, poetry, dance, painting,
all
you
like
know,
the creative type.
yeah, the creative arts, and so each one personifies a different thing. So there are some people out there who know every single one of them. I personally don't. I just have like particular ones I like the imagery of. They are renowned enough that people with a classical, let's call it a classical education, would be aware of them. There are people who are experts on them. There are one or two people out there who will not have heard of them. It'd basically be like another equivalent would be like me saying, "Who is your favorite Green Lantern?" Like, I have I have opinions. My favorite is Kyle Rayner, and I'm right. So,
I can only say Hal John
The one
is the
whose
only one I can
girlfriend
name
got
off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
So yeah, but it's that kind of it's not so unspecific that no one would have heard of him, but it's kind of like a bespoke. If Sissy has like she's a city druid, she's relatively young. There's like I'll tell you what, I'll make a roll for it. It's not a super high number. I'm not going to add anything to it. If she rolls over a 12, she knows what who these are. No, she has not heard of the Little Sisters. She doesn't really know about them. She doesn't understand them.
She knows the big sisters.
Yeah. So you tell her this stuff, and it's kind of like me coming up to you and say, you know, I'm fairly confident I am the son of Dionysus. Yeah.
I'm more
but like slightly more.
You can't
or
prove
like-
I am not.
Yeah. So like, hey,
I'm related to the king.
I did 23andMe, Beth, and it turns out that I'm part Jotun. And you'd be like, well, you're 6'4", that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing. So she's like, okay, and then you kind of keep going, and you keep going, you catch her, her eyes go wide, she hears about the horrible things that happened, you hear about the great things you've done, and she's like, wow, you know, now I think about it, I've heard there's like plays going on about you guys. I didn't realise it was you. I didn't realise it was you guys. There's
Show her the
performances
finger
in the
puppets.
park. Yeah. And there's people dancing. There was someone going round asking if they heard of the Starlight Syndicate, and I'd not heard of the Starlight Syndicate. I didn't know who they were, but I heard somebody talking about about the Looping Veil, and I thought, it can't. Is it the same people? I was like, because other people have been to the Looping Veil since, and obviously before, and some of them hadn't come back, and some of them have. But I thought like you were the ones, and so I told them a little bit about like what you told me about your adventures and stuff, but I wasn't sure it was you. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Well, my only, I guess, ask would be don't say anything too specific, especially now after hearing of
No,
that.
no, my lips are sealed. But I mean, so from my point of view, if you do hear anything about Ned, I tell you what, and she's going to give you how can she do this? Who here? Pete, what's your highest level spell you can cast?
Second.
Okay. Oh, I feel like I'm giving Laffy quite a lot here, but she's the only one who can cast it. She's going to give you access to the spell sending.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
fine.
nice.
Yeah, that's not like too strong.
I get third level at level 9.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's not too far. So she's going to give both of you
That's
access
why
to it.
Artifice are a bad class.
No, I mean it's
We're
just
not doing this. We're not
half
having this debate
casters.
again.
It's tough.
Oh,
I
cast-
really struggle.
Same
to
thing about
figure out what
warlocks.
to
Warlocks are also half
Yeah.
casters.
Well,
Well, no,
I
they're
struggle
not.
to
Sorry,
remember where the
sorry.
levels
No,
are.
they're not. I lied.
But
Rangers.
she's going to give you both of you access to the spell sending, but just whenever's level appropriate for Aeon. And she's if you hear anything, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. And Stendon's a little bit more reliable than a pigeon, but I've only got 2 third level spells, so
As long as you don't sound that rat, we're fine.
Oh no, it's.
Do you have
I
something
tell you.
against rats?
No, it's really awkward. The cat at him.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh
It-
God.
He's kind of like
He
he
tried
was
to-
Ned's.
She tried to fuck the cat.
He was Ned's. That explains
He
a
was
lot.
Ned's cat, and
That really
you know,
explains a lot.
he
Yeah.
Scabbers!
Yeah, it was just a
I
bit
have
awkward. I
Harold
came down
with me.
one
I
day
need
and
to
I'd heard
leave,
them.
but I'll wait outside.
I'd heard them arguing all night, and the rat was like, "Hey, yo, pussy, why don't you come over here?" And the cat was like, "Meow, no," and then it went quiet.
Oh
and
god,
then I heard him like,
why am I just picturing Remy from Ratatouille and one of the cast of cats?
no, it's imagine Eartha Kitt from of fucking Emperor's New Groove in it.
I'm picturing like Stuart Little and Snowball.
Yes, yeah. And so I came down, and all that was left
It's
of
Tom
it
and
was
Jerry.
little tail that the cat didn't eat.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know-
You might want to get the cat.
That's the best part.
Do you want me to check the cat is healthy?
oh no, she's fine. She's past him now. It's fine. No, but it's great to see. Thank you for popping in. But so where are you off to next? Yeah, thank you.
Well,
It's great.
we have this very fancy event in Haven Orel in 2 days.
Ah,
Yeah, I bought a really nice dress. I'm really excited.
oh, is this the anniversary?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds lovely. And she's like,
Are we allowed a +1?
you're
Sissy
not
come to
allowed
the-
a +1. I mean, you have a +1, in that you are going as a pair. But
Yeah.
she's like, her eyes like glass, and she goes, her eyes land on Aeon. She goes, are you taking anyone?
No.
Laffy's looking at you like.
No, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
if I'm allowed a +1, you're welcome to
This
come along.
person that Aeon's met in the last 5 minutes.
So, just to give you a little bit about Sissy, right? So she's quite young. She's not like a teenager. She's like, well, for me, quite young is like anyone under fucking 32.
James is quite young. No one thought teenager, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just
like
saying.
relatively young, because she would be around the same age as Leia, but like I think she's human. I'll have to double check my notes, but she looks like she could do with a thorough scrubbing, but is very pretty. She's slightly emotionally blackmailed you into asking her, but like she goes, I'm gonna make my own dress, and I won't embarrass you. I'll be a super good behaviour. I've just never been to one of these big fancy balls before.
Yeah.
I'll do when I get to the ball.
Guilt trips Aeon into.
Yeah. And the only person who ever took me out was Ned's, and he set the bar, and she just kind of like glances at the floor, so low. And
I think
you
just by
go-
accepting Aeon went above and beyond what,
Yeah.
what that did.
And so we can just be friends, and it'll be really fun. Oh wow, I've got to sort out a dress. Oh my goodness, I've got to sort out a dress. And so she starts like standing up and like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to. Oh, I have to go and I have to dig
You have
out
like 2
my.
days.
Yeah, well, I've got to go and get fitted, and that means I've got to go and get changed. And being a druid, I can get away with not showering, but I suppose I'll definitely have to shower now.
Jeez, are you gay or rambling?
No, I'm fine. I'm excited. If you wouldn't mind, I will see you tomorrow night at the ball. I'll wait outside, and you'll know me because I'll be the one shouting for you.
Yeah.
I mean, we do
Yeah.
know what you look like. So.
Oh, you won't recognise me. You won't. Honestly, I'm gonna come in. So you look at it. She's got her hair like practical, pulled back, like just out of her face. She's got like I don't want to say like a female housing, but like she's like covered in. She's very practical. She's always doing, and so she lives kind of near a sewer. So she's not like great. She doesn't look amazing. But she's like, don't worry, I will I will look. I promise I won't let you down. You will not regret this. I swear.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like,
I look forward to it. It'll be fun. I'll
Okay.
give her a nice sort of warm smile.
okay, excellent.
In the group chat to anyone except Aeon, I'm telling them. Oh, I can already see them together.
It's she's really excited. She opens up a chest and she pulls out like a bag of gold. She has money, she just doesn't spend it. She's like, I'm gonna go and get myself freshened up, washed, cleaned, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
how I
okay.
imagine her. I don't know if I'm anywhere near accurate.
Kind of. Yeah. There's a picture somewhere
She's
that I
dirtier.
have of her. Yeah. She's covered in crap and stuff. And she's got like stuff in her hair, but you can see like at a glance, it's like one of those 90s teen comedy movies. Like all she needs to do is take off her glasses and let her hair down, kind of thing. Yeah. And so was it not another teen movie? You know, the way she walks upstairs and she's like, oh no, I
Yeah.
can't go with her. She's wearing glasses. Yeah. So she's very pretty. She's very keen to have a good time. But she kind of like doesn't usher you out, but like leaves with you. She goes to like a local bathhouse and then presumably to get a dress or something made. And as she does so, she gives you she gives Laffy a big hug. She gives everyone a big hug, really. She tries not to get too much grime on people, and then she waves. She goes, "Well, I really look forward to it. I'll see you tomorrow." And she waves you off as you guys head off.
I love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Presumably, I'm gonna guess you're gonna be heading back to the gaff, right?
The who's.
The house. So very quickly, because it's very late and we're going to end soon. You get back. The house is immaculate, right? Rusty has been there, tidying away. But the thing is, he's like in his room. You can hear him playing on his computer or whatever. As you walk in, Leia's there, sat on the sofas, reading, just like
Does she
a
have her
book.
feet
Just
up?
yeah, she's like under
Does
it.
she have her
You know
shoes
what I mean?
on?
He's not using a cursor.
Leia brought you snacks.
I don't think she would be wearing her shoes. No, she would be wearing
Good.
socks. So she put her feet are up underneath it. As you walk in, it's the body language. She's not going to say anything, but the body language immediately changes, and she puts the book down and walks, not rudely, but leaves the room to Lou's bedroom without really glancing at any of you. And then Rusty comes back in. You give him his sweets. Let's see how big his teeth grow.
God. D4.
3
Oh,
inches.
God.
Jesus.
That's
Like a thumb.
He's gonna look
Oh.
like
Yeah.
Stitch.
That's like Bugs Bunny.
No, do you know Timmy Turner from Fairy
Oh.
Tale Parents?
Yeah.
I thought I was scared it was going to be for that full week. Jesus.
That's
What's up, Doc?
yeah.
give him a
That's
carrot?
massive. Have you ever seen the Centrinians? Like the new one with
Yeah.
it's really talking
The
like
what?
this. Just fucking grave tombstones coming out of his face. But anyway, so he does that. Leia is very pointedly. I will say this: as you get to you come in, you give people their treats and whatever. You explain, you talk about the day. One of you goes into, fuck it, let's call it a fridge. Why not? Some of the food it is mostly still there. It's clear that an amount of food has been removed. Not someone hasn't grabbed an entire loaf of bread, but it's very clear at a glance that Leia has taken food from the fridge. Not loads of it, but enough that she doesn't necessarily need to be in the room with you if she wants to eat. And she hasn't asked; she's just done this. And she you can see that things have been moved. She's been doing stuff in the house just to entertain herself. Rusty says that every time he walked in, she was doing something different. She was playing pool, she was making a sandwich, she was reading, she was looking out the window, and stuff like that. But before we end, is there anything anyone wants to do before we end, and then we will time skip because it'll be 2 weeks before we play again?
I just want to throw up a quick detect magic just to make sure.
Okay. Bear with me a moment. I don't have a character yet. That's a really good question.
Gail's completely confused
Gail?
about Gail, wrong character. Aeon is completely.
I was gonna say both of them have got salty brothers, but
Yeah.
He
They seem to have made a deal with something.
He's just completely bewildered by by what's just transpired outside, and he's been like, "What? What? What happened?"
He's just walking back. He's just like,
Laffy's like,
how-
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How did I get a date?
can you? So, Laffy,
Did
you
you just
cast
steal
detect-
someone's girlfriend?
No,
Well,
she's
I
not
don't-
with Ned
she's
anymore.
not with Ned. She
She's
hasn't been
dead.
with Ned for ages. It's-
Yeah. With your detect magic, you can tell there's not an active spell, but you get the remnants, the smoke of a spell that had been cast before. A
Yeah.
divination spell had been cast in this room, maybe 2 hours ago. I will say that you get the sense that divination spell was cast in this room.
Okay. I would put that
I
through
think
the
it's
link.
divination.
I will say, if you want any more information, you would need to roll Arcana for it.
I will certainly try.
18.
Wow.
Nice.
Lovely. So you
That's
Nice.
lucky because I'm out of Flash of Geniuses. I could not give you any help with that.
He's no longer smart.
you look around for clues as to what you're doing, and you, as you kind of almost giving up because you've been looking around and you can sense the spell, but you can't get any feeling for it. You sit down, you hear a crack underneath like your bum. You've sat on something. You go, "What the fuck's this?" And you pull it out, and there's a twig that breaks off into like two prongs. It's like a small twig that breaks off into two prongs, and you look at it, and the magic is kind of centered on this, like it's been used as either a focus or like it's been used as a material component rather. With an 18, you think about it for a moment. I think this spell will be on your spell list. I just don't think you've ever loaded it. It looks like she's someone in this room. I say she. Well, somebody in this room
Well, we know it wasn't Rusty.
cast the spell Locate Object.
She's looking for the book.
No way.
And the
What do
only
you mean, no way?
the only other thing I will ask is, I think I asked this of Beth, and I just don't want Beth to answer. I want consensus from the group. The points, the action points you created on the board, would people have left them up or not, or would you have taken them down?
I feel like they wouldn't have been taken down, but they would have been.
I think they would, or at least I was thinking that it would be like weirdly like a board on wheels that Laffy and
Yeah, she rolled it out.
Lorelai keep in their room like under lock and key, just sort of.
I mean, she's a rogue,
not
but I guess
bad.
we wouldn't know. We might have an idea if it was. I think it would be in a different room.
Okay.
But me personally, I think it'd be.
Beth agreed. I will tell you now. She equally didn't want Leah seeing them. I just wanted to know so I could understand her characterization. She knows you guys are making plans. She knows that you said you're going to go to the north, but she doesn't know the specifics of it. So yeah. But yeah,
Can we just really quickly go back to Lou? What do you mean, no way? What else would she
Well,
be locating?
I don't know.
Where
Look,
is it
I
still in the bag of holding?
Need to be
Yeah, it's not
able
Lego.
to believe that Leia won't betray us.
Hey, you can believe that, but I don't believe you or her.
I would have liked to
I don't
believe
care
that
what
you
you
would have
think.
acted like a part of the group, and yet you didn't for months. So believing in something doesn't make it true. So maybe have a conversation with your sister. Because the other option is that we destroy it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And on that bombshell, I think we'll leave it there for tonight.